Greetings. Yeah. Greetings, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing quite well. Today, we want to talk about some very interesting things happening in the world. Those who only came for the music, you can leave now. The music is over. Uh, Today, we're going to talk about the film Submission by Theo van Gogh and Ayaan Hirsi Ali. But before that, David, how are you? And how do you explain yourself for causing this massive delay?
Oh yeah. It occurred to me earlier. I had a classic video: 3 Quran verses every Jew needs to know. I had one for Christians. I had one for women. Figured I could do that like endlessly for everyone the Quran mentions and so on. But I don't know why it didn't hit me like 2 months ago or something like that. But I was like, how have I not like remade that video? Because it was an old video. It's like, how have I not remade that one? And then anyway, I was like, I think I could get this out before we record. And then anyway, we're late. So I think this is the second time ever it's on me, not on you.
Yeah,
But it's on me.
unforgivable crimes, unforgivable crimes here. But
And the fact that you'll judge me but not yourself is kind of parallel to how people treat the Jews versus how they treat Muslims. So what is that? What's going on here? Why is it me? Why is it me and Jews who are held to this standard, this lofty standard, and then you and Muslims, there's no accountability at all for you guys?
I don't know, man. That sounds like you're a genocide enabler here. Anyway, so you are late, but that is forgiven, and nobody will.
That's on me.
Nobody will kill you for that. Unfortunately, can't say the same thing about Theo van Gogh, who was killed for making a movie.
You imagine that? You imagine that?
Yeah,
Not even. I mean, his video was like a masterpiece of criticizing Islam artistically. But if you added up all the stuff we've done way more, and we march all over the world talking trash. What's going on?
It's because we are not in the Netherlands. That's why. If we were in the Netherlands as well, and we were public over there, we would probably be dead. That's why Ayaan Hirsi Ali chose to leave the Netherlands and to move to America and to live here among us now, where she can freely execute her life instead of being executed for talking, for saying regular things. Today we want to watch the movie by Theo van Gogh and Ayaan Hirsi Ali. It is only 10 minutes long. It's a short film. There are different versions depending on quality and all that. The problem with this movie is that the movie was initially shown on TV, and then it was by the co-producing firm taken back and forbidden from being distributed on a professional level, but it is still accessible on YouTube because it was captured, on TV and on different platforms. But it's because Theo van Gogh was killed after, for making this movie, there was big trouble around it. And what's also interesting about this is you can see that this is called Submission Part 1. Writing by Ayaan Hirsi Ali, directing by Theo van Gogh. It was supposed to be a series. There was supposed to be a part 2 that was in the works. There was supposed to be more parts, but it never came to that.
We should talk to Ayaan Hirsi Ali and ask if she ever started preparing part 2 for the content and tell her we'll make it. We'll make it. Let the jihadis come get me. Matter of fact, I'll be the woman in the burqa.
No, I think part 2 was about a different topic. Part 2 was about a different topic. It was like submission, Islam. That's literally what Islam means, submission. Every episode should be about a different issue, according to their plan. And as far as I remember, there's even an article about that. Part 2 was supposed to be about a gay person or something like that, I think. Oh yeah, Ayaan Hirsi Ali, Submission Part 2, gays and
you can play the gay guy.
Yeah, I will. That was the one in the making. They were preparing it, but Theo van Gogh was brutally murdered.
What if we get Douglas Murray?
That would be pretty gay.
What if we get Douglas Murray to play the part? What?
Pretty gay.
What? break the internet.
Yeah. Anyway, for those who are curious about the actual pronunciation, which nobody actually cares about, of Theo van Gogh's name is actually, it's actually Van Gogh, which is a very hard thing to say if you're not Dutch. So, which is why people just say Van Gogh or Van.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm laughing at. I remember I made a video about Vincent van Gogh years ago, and so I looked up the pronunciations, and I gave like all the pronunciations, both the right ones and both the right one and the wrong ones, and so on. But I remember when I was looking it up, how to pronounce Vincent van Gogh. There's a joke one. There's a joke site that pronounces everything completely incorrectly, but they'll have a video how to pronounce Vincent van Gogh, and you click on it, and it's how to pronounce Vincent van Gogh, and the guy goes, Weinkind Van Gogh, Weinkind Van Gogh. It was awesome. But anyway, I totally forgot about that until you were just talking about the pronunciation.
That's funny.
I remember that goofball.
That's funny. And Vincent van Gogh would be Vincent van Gogh. Yeah. It sounds disgusting. I know. Anyway.
I think he's a relative, isn't he? Isn't he like a relative?
Yeah, he's a descendant of Vincent van Gogh. Yeah. So are you ready to jump into this, David?
Let's do some improvisational comedy now.
One thing to quickly remark, the actual footage, the actual video has slight nudity. With the one that I found here, you can't tell much because it's very much blur. So it's like censored by being poor quality. But hey, it will be fine. Let's jump into it. Oh wait, there's
so Vincent van Gogh is his great granduncle.
Yes, something like that.
This is made.
Okay, it works. Good. The sound is okay, I assume.
Sounds a bit louder than you, but
it does. Okay.
Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
I think the person reciting here is Ayaan Hirsi Ali herself. That sounds like her voice, right?
Not to me.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Okay, maybe not.
Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina sirat.
The most controversial part about this movie, about the short film, was that this is a woman who is standing there and praying, while most of her body is veiled. She is pretty much, naked. You can see her skin, and on her naked skin there are Quran verses written, and that was, of course, completely unacceptable to Muslims, which is why this caused a lot of outrage. But that was actually, one of the points was this was written by Ayaan Hirsi Ali, who wanted to send a strong message about the treatment of women under Islam, and that is combined with Theo van Gogh's idea of making it provocative in order to send the message very strongly and get the attention that needs to be gotten. Unfortunately, it cost him his life. But yeah. This is not funny. What are you laughing at, dude?
I'm laughing because someone said I can see her zabuba. These are the kinds of fans you have, AP. These are your fans.
While I was waiting earlier, Earlier, while I was waiting, somebody said, "What color is your Zabiba?" It's correct.
So we got, what color is your Zabiba? I can see her Zabuba. These are your followers. When we're trying to watch a movie about Islam's oppression of women and getting a guy murdered in the name of Allah.
I'm proud of my fans.
We're proud of that.
Yeah.
الضالين آمين.
O Allah, as I lie here wounded, my spirit broken, I hear in my head the judge's voice as he pronounces me guilty. The sentence I have to serve is in your words. The woman and the man, guilty of adultery or fornication, flog each of them with 100 stripes. Let no compassion move you in their case, in a matter prescribed by Allah. If ye believe in Allah and the last day, and let a party of the believers witness their punishment. Two years ago, on a
There's a reference directly to the Quran. So there are several Quran verses mentioned here, but the reference here is which one is that? Here, chapter 24, verse 2, which says the woman, or they remarked here, the unmarried woman or unmarried man found guilty of sexual intercourse, lash each one of them with 100 lashes, and do not be taken by pity for them in the religion of Allah, if you should believe in Allah in the last day, and let a group of the believers witness their punishment. This is the verse which is referenced here at the beginning. For fornication, both parties shall be lashed publicly for others to witness, and there should be no mercy for them, because that's what Allah wants. This is how Allah wants the people chastised. Of course, this is only for, according to the Islamic law and tradition, this is only for the unmarried people. For married people, the punishment would be death, as it is also pointed out in Islamic law books, in the hadiths, and so on. Anything you want to add, David, before we continue?
No, I was looking for something, but go ahead. You are correct, sir.
Okay, thanks.
sunny day,
I know I'm correct.
while at the souk, my eyes were caught by those of Rahman, the most handsome man I have ever met. After that day, I couldn't help but notice his presence whenever I went to the marketplace, and I was thrilled when I learned that his appearance at the bazaar was not a coincidence. One day, he suggested we meet in secret, and I said yes. And as the months went by, our relationship deepened. What is more, out of our love, a new life started to grow. Our happiness did not go unnoticed, and before long, envious eyes gave way to malicious tongues. Let's ignore these people, Rahman and I said to each other, and trust in Allah's mercy. Naive, young, and in love perhaps. But we thought your holiness was on our side. Rahman and I shared affection and trust and a deep respect for each other. How could Allah disapprove? Why would he?
Because it's immoral. It's haram. It is haram.
I can't even glance at the chat. I can't even look over there.
Why?
Because the last thing I saw was 50 Shades of Zabuba.
The last thing I see right now here is this. Only goats. Fantastic.
I have to say, if anyone wants a site that would absolutely blow up in Pakistan, Only Goats is
Oh, this is so messed up.
would make you billions. It would be like, look, we would hear in the news like 2 years later, and Elon Musk has been surpassed by a guy who opened a site only goats in Pakistan. He's now worth $500 trillion.
Man. I'm still thinking of Quran only fans, but yeah, that's one of the options. Let's be millionaires by inventing that.
When I was 16, my father broke the news to me in the kitchen. You are going to marry Aziz, he said. He's from a virtuous family and will take good care of you. My wedding day was more of a celebration of my family than of mine. Once in my marital home, my husband approached me. Ever since I recoil from his touch. I am repulsed by his smell, even if he has just had a bath.
This is not very uncommon. You could say that this is not very unique to Muslim culture, but it is very dominant in Muslim culture, where, of course, I found this always so funny. You know, I grew up in Germany, around a lot of people who are Muslims but who don't really practice, and lots of those people would have girlfriends, boyfriends, and things like these. But it's always a common thing and always a joke, pretty much, that they will just have relationships with the people in Germany until the time comes when they need to get married. At which point somebody is chosen for them and they then get married. It's like, and it's kind of always a dumb joke, like having fun in Germany and then getting married to somebody that the parents or relatives or others decide to marry you with, which is ridiculous and often ends up with very, very bad consequences. I knew of this one girl who was like, I was shocked to hear it. She was very, very un-Islamic. She, she was attractive. She had a great social life as a teenager and all of that. But as soon as she turned 18, I think, and she was Afghan. As soon as she turned 18, she was married off to her cousin, who lived in some different country, and just within a few months, we heard news that she is being horribly abused at home and horribly mistreated. And that's the last thing I heard of her. It's just, yeah, that's the world.
And so you got this hot burqa babe here, and she's in love with hot Rahman, and her family sets her up with stinky Aziz. Hey, Stinky Aziz. I don't want to marry Stinky Aziz. He stinks. But look at the size of his Zabiba. You know he's a holy man because of his Zabiba, so you got to marry him.
Yeah. Some guy said 18, so she was a senior citizen. Yeah.
I was 18, so my family already considered me way too old to be marriageable.
Yeah. And they thought
so I couldn't get hot Rahman. They had to set me up with Aziz, who's into grandmas. Call him Stinky Aziz.
I obey his commands sanctioned by your words. And I let him take me because each time I push him away, he quotes you. They ask thee concerning women's courses. Say, they are a hurt and a pollution. So keep away from women in their courses and do not approach them until they are clean. But when they have purified themselves, ye may approach them in any manner, time, or place ordained for you by Allah. For Allah loves those who turn to him constantly, and he loves those who keep themselves pure and clean.
Why would it say that, David? And is this just an Islamophobic lie here about to make Islam look bad, or is this an actual quote from the Quran? What is happening here?
No, they're making that up. Islam says nothing but pure equality. What the heck are you talking about?
Oh, so when she says
freaking bigot.
So when she says that such a thing is Allah's word, what exactly is she talking about? Could it be that she's talking about this here? And they ask you about menstruation. Say, it is harm, so keep away from wives during menstruation, and do not approach them until they are pure. And when they have purified themselves, then come to them from where Allah has ordained for you. Indeed, Allah loves those who are constantly repentant and loves those who purify themselves. According to different translations, come to them as Allah commanded you, come to them as you wish, and so on. There's also another verse which is approach them as you wish, they are your tilth.
Yeah, go to the next verse.
That's the next verse. Okay, yeah. Is it?
That was 2:22, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
go to the next verse.
Oh yeah, your wives are a place of sowing of seed for you, or your tilth. So come to your place of cultivation however you wish, and put forth yourselves, or righteousness for yourselves, and fear Allah, and know that you will meet Him, and give good tidings to the believers. So yeah, they're basically your fields.
Yeah, people don't understand how messed up this is until they understand what the historical background, and they actually pay attention, because we don't, like, if you say to a person here a tilth, what are you even talking about? But the historical background was that the Muslim community moved from Mecca to Medina, and then the Muslims start marrying these women, and the women didn't want to have sex in certain positions. They didn't want to have sex like doggy style. They only wanted straight missionary sex. These female converts to Islam only wanted to have sex in certain positions. So they all so men and women start complaining to Muhammad, hey, what's going on here? My wife refuses to have sex in this position. And there was even a specific couple where the woman said, get away from me. Do not come to me. Do not come to me if you want me to do that. I'm not doing that with you. Straight up missionary, nothing else. And so they go to Muhammad. Muhammad, can we get Allah's judgment here on what I'm supposed to do with my wife? Allah's response is, your wives are your tilth. They're your field for plowing. They're your field for plowing. So plow your wife however you want. Meaning, hey, if you shut up, lady, you're his tilth. You're his piece of land for plowing. So he gets to plow you however he wants. That's his decision. That's what it's in response to. And this is part of the reason. This is part of the reason that you'll have these videos by Muslim scholars. They start to sound. There's this one by this Muslim scholar. He goes, you know that in America you can rape your wife? And it started like he was going to say, oh, in America they allow you to rape your wife? That's messed up. What's going on there? And he goes, that's not what the point he was making. He means there's a scenario where you can be held accountable for raping your wife.
Yeah.
So he goes, did you know in America you can rape your wife? He goes, how can you rape your wife? How can that even be a thing when Allah says you plow her however you want, right?
Yeah.
So this is part of the reason that there's no concept in Islam of your wife being able to refuse something.
Yeah.
I mean, this can, but if you can, and I mean, they can, in the sense that it's a thing that women do. And of course, the angels will curse them until morning and so on, because why? Because Allah says your husband gets to plow you however he wants. You don't get an objection. If you run off somewhere, the angels are just going to curse you till morning. Yeah. Until you do what your husband wants.
In Islam, it goes, hibbity hobbity, you are my property. And it also says in these hadiths, for example, as you just mentioned, it says, the messenger of Allah said, when a man calls his wife to his bed and she does not respond, and he spends the night angry with her, the angels curse her until morning. So the one who is above the heaven becomes displeased with her until he becomes pleased with her. So it is the duty of a woman to respond to the husband's call and to have and to have sex with him. There is no such thing as I really don't want to right now. No, if the man wants it, then you better do it. You better do it, because that's what Allah wants. Allah wants whatever the husband wants. You have
Do it.
no say in this, you idiot. If you refuse, if you say, I don't want to right now, then Allah will be angry. The angels will be angry. The husband will be angry. The entire universe will be angry with you. This is basically what kind of a situation the religion puts women into. When a man invites his wife to his bed and she does not come, and the husband spends the night being angry with her, the angels curse her until morning. That's how it is, which is why men are easily led to say, hey, don't you know that if you refuse, Allah will get angry? Allah will get angry with you. The angels will get angry. What kind of, how dare you? How dare you be disobedient like this? So they can basically force them. That's it. So, as we've just found out, this is not an Islamophobic claim. It is the actual truth, unfortunately.
Oh Allah, Most High, you say that men are the protectors and maintainers of women because you have given the one more strength than the other. I feel at least once a week the strength of my husband's fist on my face.
Is she talking about Stinky Aziz or a different guy?
Oh Allah,
I don't know.
Most High, life with my husband is hard to bear, but I submit my will to you.
Next reference is the very, very notorious, very well-known verse here, which is chapter 4, verse 34, which is, I would say, I think pretty much the highlight, the high point of this film. And the reference here is exactly this Quran verse. Men are in charge of women by what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding, in the husband's absence, what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. But if they obey you once more, seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted and grand. Some people go to the final sentence here and say, look, it says don't seek any means against them, but what? But if they do what? If they obey you. If they obey you, that is the point. They are supposed to obey you. If they don't obey you, if you only fear that they are rebellious, if you only fear that they are arrogant, you are supposed to discipline them. If the warning doesn't work, you are supposed to take drastic measures. If those don't work, you might beat them. Of course, with the fact that beating is authorized, so beating your wives is authorized. It is very common in Muslim culture to practice wife beating, and it is not considered a terrible, horrible thing. It's not considered a bad thing. It's not considered a crime, because it is directly Allah Himself, the Almighty, who puts the husband in the position of being the master of the woman, and who gives him the right to beat his wife. That's Islam. That's submission.
And you remember that recent Taliban video where that Vice reporter goes over there and is asking about all the reports of abuse and stuff? And he goes, "No, there is no abuse. They're just claims of abuse, right? There's no actual abuse according to us. There's just people who claim that it's abuse. It's not abuse. The husband is helping his wife by slapping the crap out of her repeatedly, beating her until her skin turns green.
Yeah, that's not abuse, according to them. That's the same thing as when they say, we point out that under Islam, people can be killed and brutally murdered for different things, and then they say, no. Islam is completely against killing, against injustice, unjust killing, against all that. But what they mean by that is, well, yeah, Islam is against unjust killing, because Islam has its own definition of what is just and what is unjust. Because in Islam, if you leave the religion, you might be killed. You might consider that unjust, but according to Islam, that is not unjust. That is a just form of killing, which is why they can just say, no, Islam is against unjust killing, but then go ahead and kill the apostates. Just in this case, again, just like that, they can claim that there is no abuse, but they can give men the power to abuse the women into obedience. That's what Islam allows. It's what Islam directly permits. It's what the Quran directly instructs men to do. And
hey, dude,
yes, that's me.
we should remake this high resolution, but have Aisha be the chick. And she's complaining about Muhammad boning and beating her. And we could fill that thing with like actual quotes from the hadiths about her saying that she hasn't seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women.
And we could make it more we can make it darker, where we are like sarcastically just sitting there and judging her and saying, what are you talking about? Like, this is completely fine. Messed up.
But very messed up.
Very messed up. Here are some hadiths if we want to get into how this beating looks. Now, there are people who will say, and to be honest, when I first watched this film a long time ago, I think I watched this film first, I don't know, many years ago, maybe a decade ago or so, and I thought, well, one thing that is pointed out here seems un-Islamic, which is punching the woman, because she says that she feels the fist of her husband on her face all the time. So I thought, but wait a minute, Islam doesn't permit a man to punch his wife. Here's the issue. There really is no there really are no great details on what the beating of a wife actually should look like. Especially not if you look at the Quran. The Quran doesn't say anything about it. It doesn't further elaborate in any way. It simply says, strike them.
Yeah, we've seen it pointed out by Muhammad Hijab himself. This is not us pointing this out. The word for strike there is used of striking enemies in battle. Muhammad Hijab said, if you just go with the Quran, you conclude that you can chop your wife's head off. She's disobedient.
Yeah.
Again, that's not us. That's one of the most popular da'is on the planet, saying, hey, if you just go with the Quran, as far as what Surah 4, verse 34 says, it's up to you as a man. You might think that you could chop your wife's head off.
Yeah, that's in an instance where he talks about where he talks to Quran only fans, and he basically tells them that if they are Quran only fans, then and they only follow the Quran, then they will realize that the Quran, believing only in the Quran, and being Quran only fans has very severe consequences, because it allows wife beating in the most severe ways. It allows child marriage in the most severe ways, and so on. So that is his video against Quran only fans.
You should make a you should actually get the domain Quran only fans. And then just have it with responses to people who hold the Quran only position, but then you get all these people accidentally clicking on it, like they're looking for OnlyFans. I'm saying that because Mary Jo Sharp, so she's a Christian apologist. She's at Houston Baptist University, but when she started, it was her and another woman who's an apologist, and they made a site called Two Chicks Apologists, Two Chicks Apologetics, right? Because there are two girls. And she said she's got a site where she could look at the search results of how people are getting to her site, and it's all kinds of people who are looking up two chicks. And so it's all these guys who are looking up porn. They're looking for porn, and they're coming into her apologetics site. But anyway, you could get a bunch of people looking for porn and actually learning about the Quran.
That is quite funny. Very quite funny. So what was I gonna? Oh yeah, I was gonna quickly bring this up and see if we can find this here.
No, please allow me, Camro.
In the Arabic language that has the most different meanings.
Okay, fine.
That's how you apply it.
Camro, I'm not disagreeing with you, my friend. No, I do agree. That pen, I want to shake your hand and agree.
You'll
Yes,
come on my way
yes,
soon as
I
well.
agree with that. I agree with this point. He's right. I was about to make the same point. Me and you are on the same page now. The word daraba could actually mean striking a parable. It could mean tapping like this, like the tayammum. And it could mean hitting. It could mean beating someone up. Yeah, okay. Now the question is this. The Quran 4:34, it says, وَاضْرِبُهُنَّ. If we want to take your approach to the Quran, which is that you don't have the sunnah next to it. We know the Prophet never touched his wife in that way. We know we don't advocate hitting women and stuff like that, yeah?
No, we
However,
don't know that. We don't know that.
We don't know that.
if I was
No.
a Quran alone,
There,
well, like, I'll be
there are
honest with you,
conflicting
I would
hadiths.
look at the Quran.
Inshallah, go to Jannah if you want.
Okay,
If you have anything but Quran alone, you're mushrikeen,
okay,
zalimun. That's a fact. So my words, that's the Quran. You
Okay,
need to study it.
that's fine.
Wow. He said here. I never noticed this part. He says if you are anything but Quran only, then you are zalimun, oppressors. You are mushrikeen, so idolaters or polytheists. That's some really
And keep in mind, I mean,
there.
yeah. So if people want the dispute in a nutshell, when you go to the hadith to let the hadith clarify what you're actually supposed to do, notice Quran only Muslims regard you as a mushrik. You're associating a partner with Allah. You're saying Allah and Muhammad. Allah and Muhammad and his companions, Allah and Muhammad and his companions and the transmitters. You're saying you've got all these guys that you're learning about how you're to act from. So they regard that as they regard you as a mushrik. The difficulty is for their position that the Quran itself says you're supposed to take Muhammad as your pattern of conduct and that you're supposed to obey all of Muhammad's decisions. And so, guess what? Both sides have things partly right. Yes, ordinary Orthodox Muslims are associating all kinds of partners with Allah, but the Quran commands it. The Quran commands Muslims to do this, and therefore the Quran is just incoherent. The Quran itself convinces Muslims to associate partners with Allah.
Alhamdulillah, that's beautiful. Beautifully said. Beautifully spoken.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Even though it's a little bit of controversy there, we might not agree. But here's what I was.
Because you don't study it.
You're going to teach me now. But what I ask you, yes, inshallah. What I was going to say to you is this. I don't know why I keep coming to you, brother. What I'm going to say is this, yeah? If you read the Quran just like that, without reference to the Sunnah, to the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that word becomes open to interpretation. A man now, a husband, can decide, okay, well, like a nice man like you will say, no, this means strike a parable, yeah? Strike a parable. But this guy, okay, maybe not you, right? or someone like me, or some bad guy, right? Who's got more...
This guy never gets to the point. It's just, I don't even understand how people enjoy listening to him.
Notice he's putting himself in the category of people who might think that this verse says you can lop your wife's head off.
Yeah.
Just look at that word. No.
Well, I just checked the domain QuranOnlyFans.com and it is not free. It has already been bought.
By Andrew Tate.
No, but you know why it's not free? Because I just bought it.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Same word that's used for striving. I'm going to do that on my wife. Now the thing is, what?
See, this is what Muhammad Hijab says. He says if you are an only Quran only fan, Quran only fans, if they only read the Quran, they could just go and beat their wives as they wish, because there's no further explanation. This is it. This is what he says. Look, I even typed here in the search, extreme consequences of Quran only fans. I just noticed that because I didn't even mean to do that. I was just subconsciously doing that. Anyway, if we get to the hadith, you can see some more detail here. It says here, for example, do not beat Allah's handmaidens. But when Umar came to Allah's messenger and said, the women have become emboldened toward their husbands, he gave license to beat them. Then many women went around Allah's messenger's family complaining of their husbands, and he said, many women have gone around Muhammad's family complaining of their husbands. Those are not the best among you. You see what it says? Those are not the best among you. Here again, Muhammad first says, don't beat Allah's female slaves. Omar says, hey man, come on man, the wives, they're being very, 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 emboldened and all that. And he's like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever, just go beat them. And then women go around and complain and say, I'm getting beat by my husband. And Muhammad says, many women have gone around Muhammad's family complaining of their husbands. Those who do so, then it says here, well, this is very funny. Those who do so, that is, those who take to beating their wives, are not the best among you. The Arabic text doesn't say any such thing. It just says, those are not the best among you. That is what the text says. In other hadiths, it is again corroborated. So it specifically refers to the women who go around and who complain about being beaten by their husbands. Muhammad says, women go around and complain of getting beaten by their husbands. Those are not the best among you. But of course, people then later play with the text. And here we have even more detail. Here in this hadith, which is a very famous one, and David loves this, it says,
Oh, yeah, I love.
Yeah. Aisha said that the lady came wearing a green veil and complained to Aisha, of her husband, and showed her a green spot on her skin caused by beating. It was the habit of ladies to support each other. So when Allah's messenger came, Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes.
Isn't that like shocking commentary? This is Aisha, the mother of the faithful, who learned Islam from the Prophet of Islam himself, her rapist and prophet. And after seeing the impact of Islam on women for years, could actually say, pagan women have it better than Muslim women have it.
Yeah.
Why? Because Muslim men have commands saying they can beat their wives into submission. It's encouraged as the method of dealing with rebellious wives. You could have a pagan who beat his wife, but in Islam, it's Allah telling you that's a good thing to do. And this woman gets beaten until her skin is green. Aisha notices, and she points this out to Muhammad. Muhammad, this is what your religion does to women. And it's just amazing because you had all these women in the 20th century. Muhammad was a feminist, and he's the one who gave women rights, and he gave them unprecedented rights and provided equal treatment and for everyone, and completely changed. And you go to the actual people who are eyewitnesses, and eyewitnesses say, what are you talking about? He made it worse for women. Islam makes things worse than paganism.
Yes.
For women.
But you can't point out these realities, these truths, because that would be Islamophobic. Anyway,
I do find it fascinating that some brand new convert to Islam, I mean, a woman who converted 2 months earlier because she got the hots for some guy she works with, and he told her what he got from some dawah guys to use when giving dawah to these Western women. He told her a bunch of things, and then she'll go out and act like she knows more about Islam than the mother of the faithful, Aisha. You got modern converts to Islam who've been around Islam for a month or two, and they'll say, I know about Islam. Aisha, no, she didn't know what she was talking about. The Quran, they don't know. None of this stuff. I know. Muhammad is a great feminist. I heard it.
Yeah. And by the way, the result of this whole complaint here is not that Muhammad says, oh, no, that beating, that looks very, very bad. Please do not do that anymore. No, Muhammad's conclusion at the end of this hadith is that the woman is in the wrong, and that she's basically accusing the man of things that are not entirely true about his sexual potency. Yeah, so he says, go away.
He condemns her.
Yeah.
He condemns her for being a bad wife.
Yeah. Don't be a stupid.
And he leaves her in this awful position because she was married to one guy. Then he divorces her and she goes with another guy. And then she wants to go back to the original guy. but she can only do that if she has sex with this guy. That's the only way. You have to have sex with this guy before you can go back, right, to the other guy. And Muhammad points out that, wait a minute, you're saying this guy's impotent. You're saying your new husband is impotent. That's what you're saying. You're making a claim against him. That's why he's beating you. He's beating you for making fun of him for being impotent. But guess what? If you're right and he's impotent, then he can't have sex with you and you can never go back to this other guy. So you're stuck with this guy who beats you until your skin turns green. Good luck.
Alhamdulillah. Chris Atkinson said, "You're late, and that shows the truth of Islam." I know. This is why Islam is true. It's proof.
Powerful.
BB Warfield said, "Absolute banger." I know. You're talking about me. I know. Michelle Moffat said,
He's talking about Aziz's Zabiba.
"Oh, I see.
Zabiba is Zabangan."
I see. Michelle Moffat said, Muhammad said that if there is strife, it's okay to beat your wife. Just give her a little slap, then tighten up your leather strap. Hey guys, I love it. This is a new trend now here. Poetry.
We're gonna have to have someone go through and download all the live streams and just compile all the little poems.
Yeah. And by the way, all of
video.
these poems are better than the Quran. Just so you know.
They are
far better. Angel Jibril said, "First time viewers go away." This was posted before we even started. I don't know what this is referring to. White Lily said, "I aspire one day to be as punctual as AP. You inspire me. David, you're very kind for taking the blame, but AP is my timing hero." I appreciate it. Thank you for seeing the truth, White Lily, and thank you. Thank you. I will always be the master in this. And finally, Knows Too Much said, "From my Zabiba to your Zabuba, breastfeeding adults will be leather straps free. From Muhammad's mole to the North Pole, Islam has no hikmah at all." Nice. Chloe said, "I'll help you guys write part 2. Start with the alphabet." Wait, what was that about? What was that about yesterday? There was a book, right?
I think she's talking about my alphabet book. A is for Aisha,
yeah.
A is for Aisha, Z is for Zainab, learning the alphabet with Muhammad's atrocities.
Oh yeah, Z should be for Zabuba though.
Matter of fact, we should probably not even put atrocities. Just make it a complete mockery, like it's totally normal. Just A is for Aisha, Z is for Zainab, learning the alphabet with Muhammad.
Yes. GS said, "Ayan Hirsi Ali, OMG, she will be the bomb. What a great idea." Yes, absolutely. This is referring to your idea of asking her to continue with this. Anyway, let's watch some more.
My husband supports me from his means, and therefore I am devotedly obedient and guard in my husband's absence what you would have me guard. But my husband, maintainer and protector, fears disloyalty and ill conduct on my part. He accuses me of being ungrateful to him. He always finds a reason to doubt my loyalty to him. And after a series of threats and warnings, he starts to beat me. Oh Allah, most gracious, most merciful, just as you demand of the believing woman, I lower my gaze and guard my modesty. I never display my beauty and ornaments, not even my face or hands. I never strike with my feet in order to draw attention to my hidden ornaments, not even at parties. I never...
These are all direct Quran references. But one thing to point out here is what?
Oh, I was going to point out, she keeps talking about not displaying her ornaments, and she's like got her ornaments all over the screen.
I'm glad she does.
The heck, pervert.
No, it's
that's why you attract such creepy followers.
That's not why I'm glad. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. One thing to point out here is that this sounds very dramatic. It sounds very dramatic. But the entire point of it is, again, the idea comes from Ayan Hirsi Ali herself, because she experienced really harsh things and the really harsh reality, and she saw people in her life, like many of us ex-Muslims, who suffered greatly at the hands of the Islamic treatment of women. And things like these are a very, very serious reality throughout the Muslim world. And you could say that much worse things exist in the Islamic world. I know when I was much younger, when I was a teenager, we had a neighbor, a Muslim neighbor, and the guy would beat his wife over the smallest, littlest things brutally, and hurt her in very harsh ways, and leave her with a black eye, and beat her black and blue, basically for little things, for not doing exactly what he wants her to do. And the reactions were generally to talk to him and advise him not to do such, not to treat her so harshly. But it wasn't ever from the Muslim neighbors, the Muslim community, it wasn't ever suggested to put a decisive stop to this, to maybe report this guy, to have authorities take care of this, because it isn't the culture. It's inspired by the religion that this is that the beating itself is not necessarily bad, and you don't want secular governments to interfere and to take care of the situation, because they wouldn't understand. That's how Islamic culture is.
So we talk about that. I remembered it's probably like 10 years ago or something like that, but I was speaking at a church, and so the pastor introduces me, and then I'm giving a presentation on Islam. So talking about Islam, and I go through some of the various problems with Islam, and I'm talking about, and when I get to the wife beating part, the pastor was sitting in the front. It was a black pastor with his wife sitting in the front row. And whenever I got to the part about beating women, he was sitting there. He's going, "That's what I'm talking about." And his wife would start laughing, and then I'd say something else, and I'd be going, "Hey, beat her," and blah blah blah. And he go, "That's what I'm talking about." But he's looking dead serious, going, "That's what I'm talking about."
Terrible.
It was funny though.
Don't
was a
do
funny
that.
dude. I
Don't
can't
do
remember
that.
where I'd like to find that guy, because he was hilarious.
Don't do that.
Giving his commentary the entire.
Yeah. Chloe said AP can play Momo, David Will can play Jesus, I play Aisha. Yeah.
It is tricky finding someone to play Aisha.
I know,
Because
right?
ideally you need a little girl, but you kind of don't want to put a little girl. I mean, you'd understand that she would be fully covered, so she can't be recognized later as an actress. But
that's why I had to use AI to create a Muhammad and Aisha thing, because I didn't want to use an actual real person to create a representation of Aisha. So I told this AI to just create a little girl.
Hey, if we can manage to shatter the alliance between Islam and the LGBTQ community, we can get Dylan Mulvaney to play Aisha. Can you imagine Submission Part 2, Dylan Mulvaney as Aisha? Break the internet and post it all on Quran OnlyFans.
Nice. User Midget said, JB Padilla, that's a very good idea. Some
I
guy
can do
said,
it. I mean, I could play Aisha,
yeah,
and then just green screen myself to make me look like I'm 3 feet tall.
Yeah. Some guy said, is that Farid? It indeed reminds me of Farid. It looks exactly like Farid.
He does look like Farid. I just realized that. It looks like Farid like 10 years from now.
Are you suggesting that this is a Farid? Are you
David, why are you suggesting that I would marry this grandmother?
Farid is the one who said, how is it rape when there is parental consent?
Yes, as the great Daniel Hakikachu has pointed out, if you don't have the parental consent for the 11-month-old baby, there would be no sex. Of course, if you do get parental consent, then of course you can bang a 11-month-old baby.
Yeah.
Go out of the house unless it is absolutely necessary, and then only with my father's permission. When I do go out, I draw my veil over my bosom, as you wish. Once in a while, I sin. I fantasize about feeling the wind through my hair or the sun on my skin, perhaps on the beach. And I daydream about an extended journey through the world, imagining all the places and peoples out there. Of course, I shall never see these places or meet many people because it is so important for me to guard my modesty in order to please you. Oh,
This is so. There is a slight twist here when she says, "Sometimes, occasionally, I sin," and you expect like, "Oh, what is she going to talk about?" And then the twist there is that she's talking about some very, very basic freedoms, like
Wind
just
blowing through my hair.
yeah.
What would it be like to feel wind in my hair?
Wow. I want to have that. I want to look at that part again.
ornaments, not even at parties. I never go out of the house unless it is absolutely necessary, and then only with my father's permission. When I do go out, I draw my veil over my bosom, as you wish. Once in a while, I sin. I fantasize about feeling the wind through my hair or the sun on my skin, perhaps on the beach. And I daydream about an extended journey through the world, imagining all the places and peoples out there. Of course, I shall never see these places or meet many people because it is so important for me to guard my modesty in order to please you, oh Allah.
I mean, it's like I wonder how people perceive this, the state that she's talking about. If people can even understand what it means to be in that state, in that situation. And one issue is also that a lot of people who are in that situation, in her place, in what she describes here, they won't even think this far. They won't even get to think this far. They will stop themselves from thinking this far. They don't even I don't know. They can't even really think of the idea of going out there into the world and just living freely and living your life, being an actual free, independent individual who experiences the world as it really is. Imagine that it's not possible for you, for a woman in such a culture, to go outside and to do something new, something different, something that is fun, to experience life outside, because you are expected to always basically be in a prison, to completely cover yourself up, to veil yourself entirely, to do whatever your father or your parents tell you, to get married to somebody and then to do exactly what he wants, and to never ever betray that. You don't even have the chance to say, you know what, I just want to try, I just want to see how it is, and then go outside and I don't know, loosen that veil a little bit and to experience life and to see if it's okay or not, if you like it or not. You can't even do these things. You are not allowed to experience the world in any way.
Hey, when people say that these women, the Palestinian women, are living in an open air prison, we should always respond, what, you mean Islam or the burqa?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true.
Hey, we should start saying that. Why are women forced to live in open air prisons?
Yeah. Yeah.
In Islam.
I just feel like I hope this helps bring people closer to the idea of how it feels. But I feel like if people understood better. Even those who are in the prison and those who are outside of this prison, who have never experienced it, if everyone understood this better, that Islam basically restricts your life and puts you into a prison that you are born with, and you never have the choice to ever get out of it. I don't know. Maybe people will realize how messed up that actually is.
So, I cheerfully do as you say and cover my body from head to toe, except while I'm in the house with family members only. Generally, I'm really happy with my life. However, things have changed.
Hey, look at this. Eli says, made a $200 oh no, sorry, he made a $199.99 donation, super chat, and says,
That's what you get.
love you both, AP.
That's what you get.
You know what you need to do if you want that extra penny. Wow.
It's what you get for being an atheist. You get shortchanged in your face.
Yeah. See, this is how they are trying to get you. This is how they're trying to get me to confess and to become a Christian by depriving me of that 1 cent here. Like, man.
Now you know.
I
Does not pay to be an atheist, ladies and gentlemen.
This is literal blackmail.
Does not pay that extra. Doesn't pay that extra penny.
This is a literal blackmail here. Literal blackmail. I don't know. I might have to give in after a point.
No, you're going to go to the store one day and you're going to be like, here are the groceries I need to feed my family. Oh, I'm 1 penny short.
Oh, no. Maybe I should have done that one thing. But as always, thank you so much for the contribution. Very, very kind of you. Very nice.
Changed since my father's brother Hakim is staying with us. He waits till I'm at home alone and comes to my room, and he orders me to do things to him, to touch him in places most intimate. So since he's with us, I took to the habit of wearing the veil inside in order to deter him. That doesn't stop him, though. Twice now, he unveiled me, ripped my inner garments, and raped me. And when I told my mother, she said she would take it up with my father, but my father ordered her and me not to question his brother's honor. I experience pain each time my uncle comes to see me. I feel caged like an animal waiting for slaughter, and I'm filled with guilt and shame, and I feel abandoned, yet surrounded by family and friends. Oh, Allah. Hakim is gone now that he knows that I'm pregnant.
Wow, it's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up.
And notice if she makes the accusation, how she prove anything according to Islam?
Yeah.
Her word versus this honorable Muslim man's word.
Yeah.
Her testimony is half as reliable as a man's. Can't even accuse him without 4 witnesses. She ain't got none because he waits till she's home alone. Stuck. Just stuck.
That's the thing. Now here at this point, we're talking about something, and the film is addressing something written by Ayaan Hirsi Ali that is not allowed in Islam, not directly allowed in Islam. So in this situation, an unmarried a person would not be able to simply go and have sex with this woman without being married to her. Let's not even talk about the whole rape part. We all know by now that if you marry, then you can just do whatever you want, according to Islam. But the issue is, nevertheless, this is a very common thing in the Muslim world as well, because rape happens, and Islam put men and women in such a situation that when the rape happens, the people are much more concerned with the honor and with the honor of the people in question, and with the truthfulness of these of men and what they do and say, than they are with the actual victims in the situation. So it is not uncommon at all, to complain that you are being abused and raped, to go and make a rape accusation and to be turned away because you're not taken seriously, because there is somebody in question whose whose purity and piousness shall not be questioned, because it is your word against a man's word, and so on. These are quite normal things, and some of these situations end up in somebody getting killed quite often. But hey, the public will then know it. There is no data on any rape taking place because it never went that far. It never went that far to make it to a court where an accusation of rape could actually be discussed and something could be judged, because people just take it into their own hands. And often the one who is getting raped is also the one who gets killed or who gets punished in different ways or who gets married off. These are not very uncommon things.
Kimba in the chat asked, how will her father explain that she's pregnant? And the answer is she's pregnant, and therefore she will be accused of adultery or fornication or something like that. She can't prove who did it. And so she's the one in trouble. And that's why you have massive percentages of women who are in prison in places like Pakistan who are there for being raped. You go into a police station, hey, I was raped. Okay. How do you prove it? Who are your witnesses? Well, I don't. Guy came in and raped me. Okay, well, we can't blame him because you don't have the witnesses, but you acknowledge you're having sex and you're pregnant, so into prison you go. And so you get raped, and then you go to prison for being raped. And so the tendency is to keep your mouth shut and hope that you don't get pregnant.
Yeah. There's also a situation where a woman can accuse a man of raping her. So she goes to court, and this is something that actually holds in Saudi Arabia, for example. And you can find fatwas on this, modern fatwas in our time, on pages like Islam Q&A, which is a very, very Salafi website that gives you clear rulings often without making excuses. But they will tell you a woman can make a rape accusation, but it is a burden on her to prove it. The proof would be accepted if 4 people have witnessed it. If 4 people witnessed it, the act. If that doesn't happen, then there are still different ways of proving it, including, but not limited to, the man, for example, coming out and saying, "Okay, I admit I did it," or reports of somebody hearing her scream for help. If that is absent, then often the question will be asked, why was there no resistance? Why was there no screaming? But here is the thing. The man can technically absolve himself from this by invoking Allah and saying, by Allah, I swear I have not done this. I swear I have not done this. I swear I have not done this. This is an accusation. And it can lead to the case of the woman being, standing there, having accused someone, and also having confessed to fornication. Or they can come to the conclusion that it was consensual and nobody can prove that it was actually rape. So the woman is in trouble. Plus, the woman is not only legally in trouble, it is also such a huge honor issue that women are told to just shut up about it and be quiet. Even if, let's say, the mother of the woman or the father of the woman or other family members, they actually believe her. They actually believe that she was raped. Often they will tell her to shut up, because if the word gets out that she was raped, then this will mean that she's now used goods. And this will put a great burden on the honor of the family. And she will no longer be considered a woman worthy of marriage. And what will all the others say? What will all of these people say? What will all our friends and relatives, and what will society say? I know it might sound very messed up to people who are outside this culture, but this is how the culture works. Honor is much bigger than anything, much bigger than the truth here. Allah's commands are much bigger than the truth. The hierarchy that is internal, that is so fundamental, is much better. It's much higher than the truth. And the woman is the easiest to shut down, and that's usually where it goes.
The verdict that has killed my faith and love is in your holy book. Faith in you, submission to you, feels like self-betrayal. Oh Allah, giver and taker of life, you admonish all who believe to turn towards you in order to attain bliss. I have done nothing my whole life but turn to you. And now that I pray for salvation under my veil, you remain silent, like the grave I long for.
Dang.
Wow.
And that's what you get when you get a pissed off Ayaan Hirsi Ali becoming friends with a good artistic filmmaker.
Dude, that last line is, yeah.
Like the grave I long for.
That's what you find yourself in. You just want to die at that point. The thing is, that was kind of cut short. I think it goes on further and shows her praying in the longer version. But the thing is, I have a lot higher quality version, which
You can't play.
I shan't play.
You can't play it. Yeah, you can't play it because the boobas will be clearer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Okay, yeah, there's just her finishing the prayer. Well. But I actually want to play that final part once again to have the impact of that one.
I have done nothing my whole life but turn to you. And now that I pray for salvation under my veil, you remain silent, like the grave I long for.
This was written by Ayaan Hirsi Ali, who
Could have been written just as well by one of the women during Muhammad's time who experienced Islam. If they'd had the freedom and they had a dope filmmaker like Theo Van Gogh, yep, they could have made the same thing.
That is true. And unfortunately, the maker of this movie, once again, to point out, was brutally murdered for making this movie. There are a few things.
Can you tell me how to pronounce this?
Theo Van Gogh got brutally murdered for making what we just watched. That was too much for jihadis.
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
And that's definitive, is it?
Yes.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because Vincent was my great uncle.
Well, I guess that settles it then. Theo, to be born in Amsterdam with a name like Van Gogh, that must be some baggage to carry around.
Well, I don't walk around with a note on my face. My name is Van Gogh, so nobody bothers me.
Really, nobody notices that you're a Van Gogh?
No, of course not.
Sorry, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Right. You yourself are an artist of sorts, aren't you?
No, I make movies.
You make movies? Yeah, what kind of movies are these?
Features for the cinema.
Can you tell us a little bit about them? Tell us about one of your films.
The first became famous because it was a story about a mentally diseased millionaire's daughter who gets kidnapped by a psycho. And one fragment was shown on television. The father refuses to pay the ransom. And one fragment was shown on television in which you saw him putting 2 cats into the washing machine. And so next week, two cats in the washing machine, bzzz, like that.
Did you write the script yourself?
Yeah. And next week I had to come back to show that the cats were still alive because the whole nation stood up in uproar. That was nice.
And were the cats still alive?
It was nice. It was nice. That's
You had to show that the cats were alive.
yeah. It was nice. That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, you got that classic picture of him with the cigarette, man. Looks like the coolest
Yeah, I
dude
know
in the
that.
universe.
The thing is, I saw that picture of him when I first started learning about all of this stuff. Huh? What is this? Can't even find it.
That's what pops into my head because I remember it from years ago.
You mean this one here? There's
No,
this
no,
one.
no.
Then there's this.
Yeah,
one.
no, the one right below it. Yeah, that one. That cracks me up.
I found it funny because when I first found out about this guy, I was looking at who he is, and I saw this photo, and I thought, you know, that's kind of cool because I always imagined myself living the rest of my life in this, I don't know, this free bohemian fashion with nothing to worry about and just being whatever. So I guess kind of that's what it looked like to me anyway.
My hands.
You should make a picture of yourself in exactly the same pose, but you've got a Quran cigarette, and then just splice the pictures together, post that on the internet.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your journalistic activities. You write a column in the paper, don't you? Yeah. And I believe you try to be deliberately controversial. Is that right?
Oh, no, not at all. It's a little teaser, you know. The more you insult the people who have to give subsidies, the easier it is to get your money for the films. And that's what I do sometimes in my column. And then I should say that Dutch film industries is really like a small village. So it's very nice to crucify some people which you don't like.
This guy is cool, man.
He's funny.
He's funny, and he deliberately does some of these things, but his reactions to his
Dutch
killing.
people is so angry on their skin, you know. Yeah.
They're so angry. They're so angry that 20 years later, a few of them will actually decide that they need a little change.
You're a pig, and they do enough now. It's shut. It's enough now. This is enough.
At det formentlig er et netværk af islamiske fundamentalister, der står bag, ophidser bare endnu mere. Denne taxichauffør havde Theo van Gogh.
Whenever I hear Dutch, it sounds like a fake language to me. It's like I can't tell if it's meant to be German or English. It's like it tries to be both and fails.
Yes, it sounds like the fake language they would make for some alien species in like Star Trek or something.
Som fast kunde. Det er især tyrkere og marokkanere. En stor del af dem har faktisk været her på stedet for at ære Theo van Goghs minde. Men det er ikke nogen hemmelighed, at rigtig mange foragtede hans arbejde.
That's true. That's very true.
He said and
whatever she said.
He did, I think he deserved it in a way.
You think he deserved it?
In a way, yeah.
In what way?
Because in Islam rules, with Islam, if somebody talks about the Quran in a way, we have the right to kill them.
Tidligere kolleger, og han selv er...
That sounds like a very Islamophobic lie. I don't believe it.
And in
Notice these guys were telling them all the way back then. They still haven't gotten the point.
But people were like, I don't know about that. Looks like it has nothing to do with Islam.
The victim, the great-grandnephew of artist Vincent van Gogh. The killer, Mohammed Bouyeri, a homegrown radical Muslim. Bouyeri gunned down Theo van Gogh as he rode his bicycle, and then he cut his throat, nearly decapitating him.
And this whole killing of Van Gogh in Bouyeri's ill mind was a sort of holy killing, a sort of sacrifice, like killing an animal.
A holy
killing.
Holy killing.
This is CNN. This is CNN, which has spent decades defending and promoting the ideology that just got Theo van Gogh killed.
Yeah, here is
report on it, but they never get the point.
Here is a BBC report from the time. 2nd of November 2004, gunman kills Dutch film director. Dutch filmmaker Theo van Gogh, who made a controversial film about Islamic culture, has been stabbed and shot dead in Amsterdam, Dutch police say. Police arrested a man in a nearby park after an exchange of gunfire. The man, aged 26, had joined Dutch and Moroccan nationality. He had received death threats for his film Submission, which was shown on Dutch TV. The film was made with liberal Dutch politician Ayaan Hirsi Ali, a Somali refugee who fled an arranged marriage. Ayaan Hirsi Ali has been under police protection since the film was aired. She has also received death threats and has renounced the Islamic faith. Eyewitnesses quoted by Radio Netherlands said Van Gogh was attacked while cycling by a man dressed in a traditional Moroccan jalaba. Both the suspect and a policeman suffered bullet wounds and are now in a hospital. Yeah. There were more details on what exactly he said. We might have that here. Let's see.
In the Netherlands, a country known for its windmills, its canals, and its tolerance. A new battlefront between God's Muslim warriors and the West. Bouyeri was part of a Dutch terrorist cell.
This is interesting that the CNN actually says such a thing.
Called the Hofstad Group. Another member had plans to blow up government buildings and kill politicians in parliament in a suicide bombing.
Just as you have spilled the blood of Muslim citizens in Iraq, we will spill your blood here.
Many of the group's members were sent to prison.
Lucid said thoughts on Majid Nawaz. He seems whack sometimes. I never thought much of Majid Nawaz. He seemed like an interesting character when he did some projects together with Sam Harris and all that. It seemed like he was kind of trying to be a voice of reason and all of that, but I don't know. He completely went nuts at some point and started talking crazy things only and being like a hyper conspiracy theorist in the worst possible ways. I don't know.
He did a debate back in the day with against Ayaan Hirsi Ali.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay.
And Douglas Murray. He got burned up too.
Yeah. There was a massacre.
I traveled to the Netherlands to find that this country's once tiny Muslim community has swelled to more than 1 million in a country of 16 million.
Which, of course, can't mean anything bad, right? Given these
no, that's good. It's going to make you, since Islam is a wonderful religion of peace and tolerance, the more Muslims you bring in, the more peaceful and tolerant everything's going to become. Thanks, Europe.
Interesting.
Europe, Islam is the fastest growing religion, the number of Muslims tripling in the last 30 years. This increased Muslim presence and violence, like the Van Gogh murder, play into the hands of right-wing politicians like her.
Play into the hands. There you have it.
How you like him? How you like him now, CNN?
A member of the Dutch Parliament.
Yes, here we have 9 seats.
Who fears the Dutch are losing their country to an alien culture. The party.
But he sounds, oh my, what a bigot, what a racist. How dare he suggest such a thing?
Islam platform. He's proposed shutting down immigration from non-Western countries and banning burqas and niqabs, the head-to-toe coverings worn by some Muslim women, even though very few here wear them.
Kneecaps, yeah. Just Gaming Entertainment said, here's for your pain for surviving Islam. Thank you. Alhamdulillah, that's very beautiful. This is actually Mossad, but yeah.
Why have you chosen Islam as your battleground, so to speak?
Islam is, I believe, one of the most major threats to the West and also to Western Europe and to the Netherlands today, and more especially the radical Islam is a major threat to our society. Those are people that hate everything and that we stand for and are proud to use every means possible to kill us.
Do you fear for your life?
What are you grinning at?
What are you grinning at?
I'm grinning because you're grinning.
I'm grinning because I'm grinning. I don't know. I'm not grinning at anything. I'm not grinning. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was thinking it would have been funny if she said, why did you decide to focus on Islam? Blah, 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 blah. He should have just said, Islam focused on me first. Boom. Drop the mic.
AP, show the Dutch version, not the Japanese one. What are you talking about, man? She was 9 years old, said Quran versus pig mud pit fights would be nice on Quran OnlyFans. That's interesting. I'll make a note of that. Sheikh Munat said the boobers are haram.
Hey, what if we wrote Quran verses on a pig? You got the pig running around with the Quran verses about everything about pork. Everything about pork is on the pig. and then we make the pig talk. Oh Allah, why did you create me? Submission to. Oh boy.
Terrible idea. Let's see if there's any detail on here. On 2nd of November, Van Gogh was assassinated.
Hang on. What if you had it exactly the same? You just show a pig there, and then all of a sudden the music starts. Oh Allah. We'll have to find someone who can imitate Porky Pig. We'll make a comedy version with a pig instead. I'm telling you, that'll be dope. All right, go ahead.
No, it will be Peppa Pig. That's what's in fashion right now. That'll be good. Van Gogh was assassinated in public by Mohamed Bouyeri, a Dutch Moroccan Muslim with a Dutch passport. A letter stabbed through and affixed to the body by a dagger linked the murder to Van Gogh's film and his views regarding Islam. It was addressed to Ayaan Hirsi Ali and called for a jihad against the Kafir, against America, Europe, the Netherlands, and Hirsi Ali herself. Following the murder of Van Gogh, tens of thousands gathered in the center of Amsterdam to mourn Van Gogh's death. Besides Bouyeri, 11 other Muslim men were arrested and charged with conspiracy to assassinate Ayaan Hirsi Ali. Bouyeri was jailed for life, for which in the Netherlands there is no possibility of parole, and pardons are very rarely granted. Some of the others were convinced of other offenses in relation to their involvement in the so-called Hofstad network, but not for a direct connection with the Van Gogh murder. So, you know what I find so disgusting about this? There are people who will go around nowadays and who will talk about how Ayaan Hirsi Ali is like such a bigot and he's just contributing to Islamophobia. He's such a bigot, such so hateful, so disgusting. Why would she do this? And here you have an actual terrorist group that is working as a small network in the Netherlands, threatening her and planning a conspiracy to kill her, for which she has to go into hiding, and these people have to be locked away. But hey, how dare Ayaan Hirsi Ali be so hateful and Islamophobic?
Yeah, what a bigot.
People have such messed up ideas on stuff. I actually have the... Where was that? Ayaan Hirsi Ali. Police bomb. English. Oh yeah, here's the letter. I think that was English translation of the letter left on Theo Van Gogh's body by the militant Islamist killer was a Jihad Manifesto, a call to destroy America and all unbelievers. Now the letter is long. Which is why I don't want to go through the entire thing. But there is the Dutch version is here, and a translation into English is also here on this website. I will, it's actually not that long, but I will link this in the description so that you can look at it and see that this guy was just a messed up Islamist, which is redundant. It's just Islamist is already messed up. But it's basically all about dear Mrs. Hirsi Ali, since your appearance in the Dutch political arena, you have been constantly busy criticizing Muslims and terrorizing Islam with your statements. Look at it. Imagine this. Terrorizing Islam with your statements.
You're the real terrorist. You terrorize us with your statements.
You are hereby not the first nor the last, and also won't be the last to have joined the crusade against Islam. With your attacks, you have not only turned your back on the truth, but also marching along the ranks of the soldiers of evil, and so on. So I don't blame you all for all of this. As a soldier of evil, you are just doing your work. It's just a very messed up letter as a threat to to Ayan Hirsi Ali, which, by the way, here also includes Talmud.
There we go. The list, the same list of quotes that we get from Nick Fuentes fans.
Yeah, it includes these made up, severely twisted Talmud quotes that you have been finding on the internet for several decades now, initiated by the neo-Nazis, such as that the Talmud says only Jews are people, the rest are not people, all Gentile children are animals. Things that the Talmud never says in any of these, by the way, and so on, to basically spread this conspiracy theory that the Jews are using Ayan Hirsi Ali and Dutch politics to infiltrate Europe and to demonize Muslims and stuff like that. So really, really messed up guy with these conspiracy theories. Left a letter in which he threatened Ayan Hirsi Ali and said some parting words here, such as Ayan Hirsi Ali, you will break yourself to pieces on Islam. You and your friend know full well that the present-day Islamic youth are raw diamonds that need to be polished so that they can diffuse the light of truth. Your intellectual terrorism will not prevent this. On the contrary, it will hasten this. Islam will be victorious through the blood of the martyrs. They will spread its light in every dark corner of this earth, and it will drive evil with the sword, if necessary, back into its dark hole. And then be warned, there will be no mercy shown upon the purveyors of injustice, and so on. It's just a giant threat in a letter to Ayan Hirsi Ali, basically saying, "You are next. We are coming for you. You will be killed."
Yep. Meanwhile, Ayan Hirsi Ali's still here, and Muslims are dealing with what they call the avalanche of apostasy right now. And we're sitting here smoking giant Quran cigarettes.
Yeah.
So what did this guy actually accomplish? Is it just that he stopped submission part 2? Is that it? Because other than that, it doesn't look like things are going very well for him right now.
I think we should start a fundraiser, and we should work on continuing something as a successor to submission, inspired by it and inspired by the very guy who is now serving a life sentence without parole for killing Theo Van Gogh. And we should continue the work.
I like the pig.
We should continue the work, because obviously it doesn't work. Look, if Ayan Hirsi Ali is evil, then I am evil. If she is a soldier of the evil forces and deserves to die, then I am also a soldier of the evil forces here. Dear stupid Islamist nut job. Look at this.
Yeah,
look at this, you dumbass. Look at it. See? You see? This is the Quran.
You're breaking my heart.
There it is.
I am going to lose seconds of sleep over this, AP.
Well, sorry, you have to make a sacrifice sometimes. You have to make a sacrifice sometimes. Hey, I got this statue here for a video that I wanted to make a long time ago. And now I'm thinking, wait a minute, how can I combine this with the Quran?
Hey, no, just look, chop one of the arms off, stick it on the other side. Chop one leg off, put 2 feet on the one leg, and yeah.
I can wrap this arm in with the Quran here.
By the way, you guys see what AP worships?
Yeah, see, you see. This is a depiction of what is supposed to be Baphomet. This is a depiction based on some later occultist guy who had a reinterpretation of Baphomet as a dualist entity. And Baphomet, by the way, was an invention in the Middle Ages to frame the Crusaders, or the order that remained from them, which was, by the way, based on Muhammad, because the accusation was that those Crusaders went to the Middle East so much that they ended up worshiping Muhammad, whom they called Baphomet. Baphomet. That's where this comes from. That's where this figure comes from. And they had this whole conspiracy theory that the order, the Knights Templar, are now secretly going into their secret places and worshiping the evil god Baphomet, which they adopted from Muslim culture, because they have nothing else more to do, because they're not doing the Crusades anymore. So yeah, maybe I should use that whole thing, and I should dress this guy up in some nice Quran wear. I don't know. I might work on that. See, this is what happens. Apparently, the whole plan didn't work, dear Buhari, idiot. We are still here disrespecting the Quran. Yeah. Anyway,
and what's cool is how, which by the way, it's deliberate. Everyone who's watching, changing it slowly over time, seizing the opportunities to make it more acceptable. You remember, AP? It was just a few years. They flipped out when I took a bite out of the Quran. You ripped up a Quran. They flipped out. They went all over the internet. Look what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. Look what they're doing. It was the exact same thing that they're doing with Israel now. We'll just run around, complain, and run around, complain, and run around, complain, run around, complain. Meanwhile, we just kept doing it, just kept doing it, just kept doing it. Now they don't even say anything. Now they don't even say anything when we do it. So notice we've normalized it. We've normalized it. They don't even freak out about it anymore. Guess what? That's good. That's progress. Now we just get to the point where we can do absolutely anything we want to their dumb book and their stupid fake prophet, and we don't hear a peep about it. Then we're good. Then we're all good.
That's how the situation is, man. Like, this is really, really. Well, it's. You see, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't stop people by killing people. It doesn't work, because there will always be more people. There will always be more people, and people will keep continuing, keep doing these things.
And think about it, AP. Think about it, AP, because they don't realize how patient some people are in wanting to change the course of events. They do some things like, oh, we kill Theo Van Gogh. Oh, and we harass some cartoonists and this and that. Meanwhile, there are people who are sitting there looking at this going, oh, you're doing that? Well, we got to change that. We got to change that, don't we? So let's change it over time. We're going to make it totally acceptable, even to you guys who won't even open your mouths when we do it. And here we are. How you liking that Quran?
Oh,
look at that. We're not even gonna get a reaction. They don't even care anymore because we made them get used to it. Why? Because we're protecting the next Theo Van Gogh, ladies and gentlemen. The next Theo, think about it. Another Theo Van Gogh comes along. What are they going to do? It's going to be like, gosh, guy's way nicer than AP.
North too much say posting these again for David Wood to see. From the river to the sea, Israel will be jihadist free. From Morocco to Iraq, there's no evidence for al-Barak. That's good. That's good.
What do you mean no evidence? It's right there in the Muslim sources.
Sorry. That was disgusting.
That was good. It's better. I mean, you should have continued eating it, but you don't want to talk with your mouth full. It's rude.
No, Allah will kill me for this disrespectful act. I will choke at the hands of Allah or Jibreel, who will come and say, read, and will choke me. From mouth to ear, Muhammad plagiarizes everything he hears. From far and near, Muhammad has semen stains all over his rear.
Definitely had some semen stains.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about? How easy it is to put some of these things together. Like, I just want to read the hadith. How easy are these videos? Just read the hadith about Muhammad pulling up his little dress so that this guy could smooch him all over his bare, milky white flesh. And then the guy going, oh, this is what I wanted, Prophet. And then just put 1 hour later, and then a hadith about semen stains all over Muhammad. Right?
Yeah.
You got to tie things together for people.
AP blames David Wood when he was late yet again. Atheist. David Wood charitably takes the blame to shield AP from public shaming. Christian, draw your own conclusions. See?
He makes fairly good points here.
You see? Knows too much said, from cover to cover, the Quran is Satan's best work undercover. From Safa to Marwa, Abraham had nothing to do with the Kaaba. Hey, this is good. This is good stuff, man. I could literally just take these super chats and write a book of them. And
it's funny. It's funny that from Safa to Marwa.
Yeah, and just make a whole book put together by through these live streams. Would definitely be better than the Quran in quality, and then I could sell that.
You could call it. You could call it a book like it. A book like it, a response to the Quran's claims to be inimitable.
Yeah, inimitable. Knows too much said, from Mecca to Istanbul, the sun sets in a muddy pool. From Farfour to Hakikachu, hide your kids, there are no Pikachu. Nice.
They actually rhymed Hakikachu with Pikachu instead of just calling him Pikachu.
GS said, by the way, Theo van Gogh was arguing with audience who were worried about threats he received, but he ridiculed them, saying, who would want to kill or attack me? Did you watch Fitna? It is in it. Oh yeah, I know.
We went through Fitna a few weeks ago, didn't we?
We went through some Fitna here. We went through some big Fitna. We did. Oh, now my stomach hurts because of what I just did to myself. Do you see? It's proof. It's proof.
Hey.
What?
Hey, if you died from that,
man, that would cause
that would be all we would ever hear from the Dawa guys forever.
Yeah. Remember your friend. Remember the biggest Islamophobe here. I would suddenly become like the master of the greatest Islamophobe in history, was punished publicly by Allah for disrespecting the Quran.
Nu als door Allah getroffen neerstorten, nee, dat hoefde niet. Toen reden ze door, dat was allemaal verder best.
Maar je denkt niet dat er ooit een idioot opstaat die...
Nou, ik kan me niet voorstellen.
Je gelooft in de goedheid van de mens?
Nee, niet in de goedheid van de mens, in mijn eigen arrogantie. Dus dat heeft dermate veel uitstraling dat die kogels zal voor mij niet komen, denk ik, hoor.
He's asked, don't you think people will kill you for this? And he's like, nah. Why would they do that?
Wrong.
Pushed the wrong button, and now he's dead. Well. Sanke said David Wood live stream congressional hearings. Christian AP live streams 50 Shades of Zabuba. Atheist, draw your own conclusions. This is a fair point. It's
got a point. I did go through congressional hearings when it's my live stream, and AP's just like, I hear that she actually shows her boobs in this video. Let's watch it. Let's go through this. It will be a way for me to justify looking at boobs during a live stream.
Hey, look at this pathetic thing. Look at this pathetic thing here. I'm just opening my YouTube watch page, and what I see here is Mohammed Hijab in an interview. Many threatened to kill me. Can you imagine?
Oh, he's a victim. Isn't that interesting, though? We've talked about this like a million times. How it's everyone's scared of me. Everyone's scared. Oh, I'm a victim. Everybody. They just go back and forth between. Oh, we're going to destroy you. Oh, we're going to take your lives. This war bleeding. Sex with little girls. Oh, you're all scared of us. Oh, we're the victims. Everyone, please come to our rescue.
Please. People threaten me all the time. Man, this is ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
All this guy does is threaten people all day long.
Yeah. Don't you think we have gangsters? We have gangsters.
We have gangsters.
By the way, also probably of importance, there is a series of videos by that were taken or produced around the same time, where Ayaan Hirsi Ali speaks on Islam and other issues. The True Story Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and further interviews that she gives on the issue. Also an interesting watch. It's also something we could go through at some point, where she talks about her stances. But I quickly want to look at
Theo,
a recent video that was published on her own organization's side. It's a very short one. It's called Ayaan reflects on Theo van Gogh's tragic assassination and the fight for free speech.
Was slaughtered in Amsterdam on a Tuesday morning when he was going to work. For those who don't know what happened, he was shot, he was stabbed, and this was only about expression. We had made a film. That's all we did. That's my history with free speech, is that I came to a free country. I was educated in free speech. I actually practiced it. And when push came to shove, I was told, well, it's better actually if you just, cool it down.
Oh, there it is. There it is. But imagine being the person who is the next in line, who wasn't targeted in the killing, but who is the second person who would have been killed as a result of this, in this attack, in this conspiracy. That's really that's a little bit messed up. I mean, imagine you have to live with that for the rest of your life. You did something. You did a nice project with this other person. He was killed for it. You are still alive, but you are also supposed to be killed. You just got away. I don't know, man.
And once the order goes out for your execution, there are dudes who will carry that out decades later. You saw what happened with Salman Rushdie, right?
Yep.
I mean, this jihadi, after decades after the call went out to kill him, goes up and stabs him a bunch of times.
That's it. And what he also did was, so he shot him, stabbed him, and then he actually went over his body and tried to decapitate him on the spot. That's what he was doing. So the guy who killed Theo van Gogh, he shot him, stabbed him, and tried to decapitate him. But then police interfered.
People don't realize it's actually fairly difficult to decapitate somebody if you don't have a really good instrument.
Yeah, the guy should have practiced more on his decapitation skills, but apparently he didn't practice well enough. So he tried to decapitate him, didn't manage to do that. Police interfered. He shot a police officer, and eventually he was arrested and put away forever
by Islamophobes.
And he will not get out until in the near future the Netherlands finally becomes an Islamic country, and the killer is thereby forgiven under Islamic law.
Yeah, and he'll become the new prime minister.
Probably, yep. Sid Dave said most of these folks marry their cousin brothers and sisters, hence the low IQ and more disease. Cousin marriage is disgusting and should be banned. Absolutely should be banned. Absolutely. Samuel Anderson said the UPenn president resigned a few hours ago. Oh yeah, from the Atlantic to the Nile, Liz McGill lost her trial. She was kicked out. She was forced to resign. She just handed in her resignation.
Yep. And notice, right after we did a live stream about it, ladies and gentlemen, coincidence?
Definitely not. She was actually forced to resign after our live stream. We made her resign, and we're proud of it.
No, but I mean, this is the issue. I mean, this is going to happen. It just happened right there because it was very clear. But every other university right now is taking note of what just happened. You've got all these students running around from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Death to Jews. All this stuff, and the campus administrators don't know what to do about it, because if you do, you'll be called an Islamophobe. You'll be called a bigot. You'll be told that you're supporting the genocide against Palestinians, and so they just sit back and do nothing. But guess what? These universities, even though you've got students who pay money, they have big donors. They have big donors. Usually people who were there as students 20 or 30 years ago and now are millionaires or sometimes even billionaires, and who then support the colleges they came from. They're paying it forward. And then they see all of a sudden, wait a minute, these guys are defending genocide. What happened to the college I was at 20 years ago? What's going on here? Oh yeah, I'm not giving that money anymore. And okay, we'll get rid of our president. The president of the university is not as important as that $100 million coming in.
There you go.
So they will get rid of you.
This is
so now all these universities are going to have to deal with this. What are they going to have to do? They're going to have to crack down on people calling for the destruction of Israel. And it's going to be hilarious to watch those who don't.
This is where we are now. It's David Wood getting people fired, David Wood canceling people. This is basically
we cancel people. If I find out one of these college presidents said something messed up in a tweet 20 years ago, I'm doing a live stream and they're gone.
Dutch fella said, hey, Dutch fella said, you two are my favorite role models of this generation. I'm giving a presentation at my church today in the Netherlands regarding the true nature of Islam. Thank you guys so much for the inspiration. Thank you, Dutch fella. I appreciate it very much. And I hope, and I wish you all the best in that. Wish you all,
you got some work,
the best.
It's good you're speaking there, Dutch fella, because you guys got some work to do in the Netherlands.
Absolutely. You have Geert Wilders now. And all that, but this is only the beginning. Yeah, bedankt.
And you're in the right spot. I'm convinced that man, if the church is not involved, I think Europe is, as the French say, les screwed.
What? Why would you say that? Yeah. John West said, Islam porn title, leather strap pleasure machine.
This week only on Quran Only Fans.
The Zaboobas, Mr. L said, finally I caught your stream early enough that I don't have to rewatch. The leather straps of my anus are yours. My two favorite YouTube Zaboobas. Man, this is just getting out of hand here.
No, we've got this again. We have this problem. If someone just came on here and did not understand the joke, they'd be like, "What the heck is this? What kind of freaky channel is this?" These guys sitting here smoking Quran blunts and reading stuff about zaboobas and leather straps of my anus.
That's always what I think about. Like, we get the lingo now, and it's kind of becoming our thing. But then those people who jump in here fresh are like, "What in the world is happening?"
Hey, that could be the name of our combined fans, the Zaboobas.
That's good. Maybe we can.
Shout out to all our Zaboobas out there.
Yeah.
People are like, what are Zaboobas? Be like, you got to become a channel member to know.
Welcome, Zaboobas. We will be here again.
Welcome to all the Zabibas, my Zaboobas.
Dear Zaboobas. Yes. Great Night 32 said, you two should do a collab with Vegan Gains for a live stream and react to these topics together. Vegan Gains?
Vegan gains? You think I got these gains by being vegan? Wrong.
Inshallah.
Got it by smoking the Quran.
One day. So Dave said Mo was a feminist, but only when he needed money. Look at how much he took care of Sugar Mama MILF Khadija when he wanted her to sponsor his cult. Well, yeah, that's he was a smart businessman. You could give him that. So if there's nothing at all you can praise him for, it, there's probably that one thing. He was a smart businessman.
Yeah, and you have to be aware of people like Cardi B. Is pretty dumb. Is pretty dumb in certain ways. She's very smart in other ways, right? There are tons and tons and tons of girls out there who are strippers, right? She figured out, hey, I can make this much money of guys throwing money at me while I'm shaking my rear in front of them. But how do I actually amplify that until it becomes the entire world sending me money for shaking it to like my, in my videos and stuff like that. And then she becomes a millionaire, right? So there's something about, hey, this got me this far, but how can I expand that? And that's what Muhammad's doing. Hey, I married this rich widow. I got lots of money. But man, if I can start up a little religion here and get everyone to go out and just be raiding the entire peninsula and giving me a fifth of the money, oh, cha-ching!
Yeah,
who needs the sugar mama?
This is what the quality of this channel and these conversations has come to. Now we're talking about Cardi B. Next, we are going
While
to talk
smoking,
about
while smoking Quran cigarettes.
yeah. Next, we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian and what she's doing, and all
Same
of that.
thing. Same thing. You can shake your rear, but like if you can actually become a billionaire shaking your rump, you've got. Guess what? There are lots of hot chicks out there. If you actually use it and become a billionaire or whatever, you got some business sense. That's what Muhammad had. Business sense.
Business. Not comparing Cardi B and Kim Kardashian to Muhammad here, obviously. But yeah, in that sense, sure. Basma said, keep up the great work, AP and David Wood. Thank you. Thank you.
Although they do have something in common.
Which is?
They've all been covered in semen at various What's wrong? See now your awful channel and your horrible fans are having an impact on me. That's why I try to listen to congressional hearings and then I come over here.
That was good. That was good. That was actually good. That was a good joke.
You can make jokes like that. Right? What does Kim Kardashian have in common with Muhammad?
And it's good because it's actually accurate, unlike what people may initially think when they hear it. So that's quite funny.
From those individuals who feel that they will go to heaven by killing me, I fear for my life.
Ayaan Hirsi Ali has reason to fear. A former member of the Dutch Parliament, her name was on a death threat stabbed to Theo van Gogh's chest. Her crime? She had collaborated with Van Gogh to make this provocative film called Submission. It is an indictment of the way some Muslims mistreat women.
It's actually interesting that this is a CNN report.
That's what I'm like shocked. I'm like, what happened to CNN? You were like, it seems like accurate and somewhat balanced reporting as opposed to like just, I mean, if you just fast forward like 5 years, they would have been blasting Ayaan Hirsi Ali and making it sound like Theo van Gogh deserved it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hirsi Ali was born in Somalia and raised in a devout Muslim family.
What in the world is happening with the image? It looks very creepy.
Hirsi Ali was born in Somalia and raised in a devout Muslim family.
The distortion makes it look like it's a horror movie.
Rebelled when her father chose a man for her to marry.
You bolted? I bolted, yes. I went to Holland and started to lead a different life. I removed my headscarf. I started to wear trousers. I started to ride on bicycles. And I made friends of the infidels, the Dutch.
She became a Dutch citizen. Then
Terrible, terrible, terrible. You should never do that. Allah is angry. Allah is angry with you if you do that. That's what happens.
An atheist and an outspoken critic of Islam.
She's nowadays she identifies as a what did she say? Part of the Judeo-Christian religion.
Yeah, she's called herself part of the Judeo-Christian religion. She's also called herself a Christian. She said she goes to church now. I actually want to revisit that issue because I started watching a response by Rationality Rules, which, by the way, this is an entirely relevant and interesting point that needs to be made because it's not just Ayaan Hirsi Ali. It's a bunch of people who are like, okay, we're going to be Christians now, but they're kind of saying we don't really believe in it. We just believe that it's better and it'll help us survive communism and Islam, and so we need to just be Christians, which kind of begs the question. Which I think I only watched the beginning of the Rationality Rules video, but it sounded like he was going to say, "Well, I'm a Christian too, even though I'm an atheist, because I've been influenced by Christian values," which is the obvious objection. But notice it's the issue that arises is if you're saying, "Hey, we can all take this seriously, even if we don't actually believe it." You could do that with anything, right? You could just say, hey, let's all just make something up and this will be our new thing. And we'll all just agree, even though we don't believe it or believe that it's actually authoritative. We're all just going to follow this. And that'll be, it's a weird kind of situation. So anyway, I wouldn't mind revisiting that issue with the, there you go.
This is funny. The thumbnail.
We should just go through that. Because he He plays a clip
I published my
from Ion Hurst. Why are you playing it when I'm saying we should probably go through it as a live
Because I just want to see the beginning, man.
take on Ian Hersey Ali's article titled Why I Am Now a Christian. And I commented on how her conversion to Christianity very strangely lacks any references to Jesus, the resurrection, inherited sin, any arguments for God's existence, or any instance of personal revelation.
This is so funny because right now I feel bad because you just mentioned rationality rules, and this just reminds me that I think I was talking to him 2 years ago or so when we were talking about doing a video together, and he was like, okay, I'm ready. So let's do this. And I said, okay, awesome. I'll get back to you. And I think I left it at that 2 years ago.
Yep. I'm sure you've done that with like 80 different people. Could have had the biggest channel on the internet, but no, leave everyone hanging.
Oh,
hey,
I should probably
for
text
movies.
him. Anyway, yeah. What?
For movies, there's like a fake cocaine that they use for when they need to snort cocaine in movies.
Uh-huh.
They snort cocaine in movies and so on. But I was just thinking, if there was imagine a scene where a guy rolls up a page of the Quran like this and then snorts a line of coke through it. That would, I don't know. I'm just thinking of what would be cool in scenes of movies.
Yeah.
I remember 5th grade. we all dared this kid, Eric Jefferson, to snort a line of Crystal Light. But he did it. He actually lied and then snorted it with a straw, and then I just saw him go like this, trying to get it out. Anyway,
messed up stuff, man. That's from really messed up stuff there. Yeah. Anyway, this reminds me that
that was West Virginia trailer park stuff. Someone dared you to do something idiotic, you just had to do it.
That sounds like that's a good life, man.
In 2000,
Aviv Guru said this is for Nama Levy, a 19-year-old Jewish girl who was raped by and is held hostage by Hamas. May she come back home safe. Amen. Wow. We do need to go through some of the testimonies and further emerging pieces of evidence that we have. Wait, is this her? Is this that one woman who was on that one video? Was she seen from behind, from the back?
Mother of Nama Levi, 19.
Wait, that is her.
From infamous Gaza. Yes, she's from, it says from the woman from the infamous Gaza video. The mother says each minute is an eternity in hell. Yeah, she's the one taken away bloody by Hamas.
This woman, I was wondering who this is and what happened to her. This woman in this image, who is seen with blood on her arms, her hands, her feet, and her behind. This is her. I wasn't even aware, but we now have new reports on this. Thank you.
Can you imagine
making this?
This is your daughter. Can you imagine this is your daughter, and Hamas jihadis have her.
Yeah, this is just messed up, man. Just messed up. Here is Nama Levy was taken hostage by Hamas terrorists on October 7th from the Nahal Oz army base. This is her. She had just finished her course the previous Wednesday to become an observation soldier at Nahal Oz. She arrived at the army base the next day and was taken hostage on Saturday morning. Oh, so she just joined and then she was taken hostage. Okay. You know very well what the defenders of Hamas will say. Oh, look, she was military, so ha ha ha. That's what they will say about this. You have seen the video of my daughter, Nama Levy. Everyone has. You have seen her dragged by her long brown hair from the back of a jeep at gunpoint somewhere in Gaza, her gray sweatpants covered in blood. You may have perhaps noticed that her ankles are cut, that she is barefoot and limping. She's seriously injured. She's frightened. And I, her mother, am helpless in these moments of horror. Man.
And they wonder why we smoke the Quran.
Yeah.
Why aren't you respecting our book that tells us to do this stuff?
Yeah, yeah. They did cut her ankles to prevent her from running, I guess. Just wonder how they if they directly cut it or if they like
That's really messed up.
tied really badly to cut her ankle. But that's
No,
just
if you
very
cut
messed
the
up form of-
Achilles, if that's extremely messed up.
Yeah, that's basically means, hey, I'm cutting you so that you cannot run, you cannot walk. That's basically what that is. It's really, really dark and messed up. Yeah. Hope she gets back. Francisco Diaz said, Satan knows that Jews have to be in the land for the second coming. Mohammed, police be upon him, shat himself in his revelations. Jesus warned of someone claiming to be him in the future. Same prophecy in both religions, different sides. This is an interesting perspective with which I cannot engage, but I get it.
Because you're an atheist. Right.
Yeah. Because I'm an atheist. I've seen the light. But I appreciate it. White Lily said, Auzu billahi minash shaitan regime. She wants to feel the sun on her skin. Doesn't she know Allah is protecting her from UV rays?
No, it's interesting. That would actually help in certain parts of the world, but in others, you end up with vitamin deficiencies because you need sun. Unless you're taking vitamin D as a supplement, your body makes it in response to sunlight. If you're covered up all the time, what are you laughing at, man?
I find it funny
serious
how
medical issue.
I find it funny how this comment starts with Auzu billahi minash shaitan regime. It's like seeking refuge in Allah from shaitan in response to the wish to be free and feel the wind and the sun.
Auzu billah.
White Lily, you are an ex-Muslim, right? As far as I remember from what you said in the past. So funny stuff. Emma Peel made a super sticker, which I bet is a fantastic looking super sticker, and I appreciate it very, very much. Very, very much. It indeed is. It indeed is. Yeah, it says you are amazing. No, you are. No, you are amazing. Panningas made a super sticker that is a little being blowing a kiss. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's a $50 super sticker. I always expect somebody who makes a larger super chat like that to say something, to add something. It's like, hey, here's this much. I also want to say something important. And then when I see them just do a super chat or say nothing at all, I feel impressed because I would never be so selfless. I would I use the opportunity to say everything that I have on my mind that I always wanted to say. And say, please use this wisely, or else I will find you and I will kill you. SC Rocket XR1 said, Leatherus Strapitus used a siege to defeat the city of Anus. All right then, yes. Honk Honk said, Hamas raped women and uploaded it online. Stop this red pill BS of men being falsely accused. If you are not a rapist, then you won't minimize rape. Indeed. Indeed. She was 9 years old, said Quran versus pig, mud pit fights would be nice on Quran OnlyFans. I already read this, man. Zabubas are haram. I already read this too. Michelle Marie said, I recommend that everyone who is interested in what it is to be a Muslim woman in Islam to read the book by Khalid Hosseini, which is named 1,000 Splendid Suns, who is also the author of The Kite Runner. Huh. I heard of that before.
The Kite Runner or 1,000 Splendid Suns?
No, both. Yeah.
I watched The Kite Runner.
Yeah, there was a movie adaptation of that.
Yeah, I know that because I watched it. I just said it.
Yeah. By the way, there was a movie that is based on that. It was also turned into a movie, just so you know.
I'm not going to read the book until they come out with the movie, though.
Yeah. By the way, there was a movie too. Interesting recommendation. I will have a look. Thank you for that, Michelle. David, if you're interested, there's also a movie adaptation of that, by the way. the Kite Runner, just so you know. Random String of Characters just became a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much and welcome. Welcome to the club. You are now officially one of the Zabubas. David the Goliath said, extremist Muslims may force Europeans to reopen concentration camps in Europe. I don't want this to happen, but Muslims will regret it. I do not want to make some bad predictions here. Backwoods Theology said, long-time lurker, first-time commenter, have either of you been warned about the 3,000 black jets of Allah? 3,000 black jets of Allah? But I know that Allah is, I don't know. No. But thank you for warning us. Thank you for warning us. I will take this warning very seriously. And thank you. And thank you. I'm on the other hand, I'm on one side trying to read these, and on the other side trying to see when it was that I told Rationality Rules that I will get back to. Draw your own conclusions said David Wood has brilliant film ideas. Christian AP can only laugh at ideas. Atheist. Draw your own conclusions. Terrible stuff.
The 3,000 black jets.
Yes.
Found footage of the Indo-Pakistani war, when Allah provided Pakistan with 3,000 black jets.
Oh yeah. Nice. Interesting. Oh hey, it wasn't 2 years ago. That's cool. I'm just checking my messages now, and it was only 1 year ago.
Oh, okay. So you just left him hanging for 1 year. You're good to go.
Yeah, I can still give it another year before I get back. That's nice.
None of these atheists are going to come anywhere near you, AP. You hang out with too many Christians.
Yeah. Shepherd's Lamb said, question for David. After becoming Christian, have you found you're able to experience love for other people? Or is it more you should act a certain way, so you do it? God bless you, brother. Thank you. If you have a question for David, why don't you ask it on David's channel instead of coming? Just kidding. Thank you for that. David, what's up? What do you say?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I have more of an agape kind of love. Agape in the Bible, it's not really a feeling. So, yeah.
That's your answer.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Whatever most people mean by feeling all lovey-dovey is probably not what I mean by love, but I don't think I have to.
I think you have to. Everything else is fake.
So, I love my family. I love everyone, but it's probably not exactly what other people mean when they say something like that.
But it's all fake love if it's not true. If you don't.
You're fake.
If you don't feel it, it's fake love. Shepherds. Chloe said, but if there are enough who overcome fear and we make the black book crystal clear, we depict the worst man, Muhammad in flesh, who make clear minds like water so fresh.
Overcome fear. Make the black book crystal clear.
Do you do this in your have you been writing poetry throughout your life, Chloe? Because it's nice.
I'm also wondering if she's just coming up with these now off the top of her head, or if she keeps a notebook.
Maybe she's actually a secret rapper and she's doing freestyle kind of stuff, She goes through on rap battles every day. Sid Dave said, imagine wanting to move to a place where you hate the culture and desire the destruction of the local people, but still beg them to allow you in. Well, of course you have to allow them in. If they want to destroy you, how can they do that without you inviting them in? Just invite them in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't it crazy? The countries they come from, they can't actually come over and subjugate you because they're a bunch of weak crap holes. They can't compete with any modern nation. And yet you can invite them in. And they'll come as much as they despise you and everything in your country and everything you stand for. They will gladly come.
I see. Thank you, guys. No, thank you. not us. Said wrote it at the start of the stream. Oh, okay. She sat down and wrote poetry, prepared for this. This is interesting. Okay. That's very nice. Patricia Berger said, read the Nawaz autobiography. When I read the part where that student got murdered, I had to confirm it on the internet. I just couldn't believe it. My country is so peaceful. The UK is in trouble. Read the Nawaz autobiography. I see. I haven't ever looked into it.
I is going to write Majid Nawaz's autobiography. That was Ali G when he said he wanted to write George W. Bush's autobiography.
I got it. There will be not enough swords for all of our necks, or angry extremists with hands wielding a hex, nor not enough spit for their wives to make rain upon our infidel heads or our enlightened brain. Wow. I'm gonna write that book. Write it before I do it. Put all of this together. Let's do this. Sir Whitemeat said the face of pure evil. I think he's talking about you. Are you talking about David?
Yeah, we'd have to see when that is, because it's probably you.
Are you trying to diss David here? What is this? Stop being disrespectful. 5 silver pesos said investing in submission 2.0. Yeah, I think we would have to clear the rights to do something like that if possible.
No, you don't.
What we could do would be to just do something inspired by, and then
we'll just call it something else.
Yeah.
So what do we need? We need a pig. We need someone who's going to write Quran verses all over the pig. We need to get an awesome music track for the beat when the pig starts complaining.
Yeah.
And we need someone who can do some special effects to make it look like the pig is talking.
Nice. But thank you, 5 silver pesos. This is a good contribution, and we will put it to good use when the day comes. And very generous and very helpful. Thank you. Backward Theology said, next suggestion for moving night. I really do want to. I did say before that I want to start a fundraiser for the whole Prophet Tales thing, which I still haven't done. Want to do that. But
you got to write it all. You got to write it all out. Make sure you got Ali Dawa in there so I can do the voice. Make sure Jordan Peterson's making an appearance so you can do that voice. Then get with your animator, ask him what the entire thing would cost, and then put it out there, guys. Say, hey guys, he said it would cost this much for the next episode.
I don't know if Ali Dawa is up for it at the moment. If he's
I'll do it. Dang it.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I was kind of hoping it would be Ali Dawa himself lending us his voice. Backwards Theology said,
we're proud of that.
Next suggestion for a moving night, an American Carol movie night, the one with Leslie Nielsen. Inshallah. Okay, we'll do that immediately tomorrow. Sir Whitemeat said, how about no? I don't buy your Baphomet. Yeah. That's good. Angel Jibril said,
I don't buy your Ella.
Which Quran of the Quran gives the best highs? All of them give the best highs and the best lows, but most of all, they are boring as hell. Channel for you said, made a super sticker, which is very nice. Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. Marisa Candy said, the world needs an anime of Muhammad's life. Absolutely. Should be done immediately. Billy Goat said, I don't appreciate you guys playing with my food. Keep complaining. Blackwood's Theology said, give me a Game of Thrones style series about most live and I will be content. Inshallah, we'll be done. Hong Kong said Quran burgers. That's a good idea. We should start a Quran burgers restaurant food chain. That would be nice. Backwoods Theology said, guys, stop, save room for Quran cheesecake. That's a good idea too. I feel like I still want to give precedence to the most important project that I have in my mind, which is Quran underwear. that has highest priority. Quran underwear. Everything else, of course, will also be considered.
I'm still gonna have L from LISO Elohim. She makes my she's making some of my stuff for various skits and so on. But I want the shirt that is actually decorated in Quran verses, and then it says "Checkmate Jihadis" on the front of it.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. I'll start walking around like I'm invincible, daring someone to shoot me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So Dave said you should try Quran tikka masala with hadith naan. It sounds like some terrible Indian food, if I'm right. I think it is, right? It's Indian food, yeah. No one Walter said, good show again, AP and David. Thank you for your great work again. Thank you. Thank you. You're making this much greater. If you had not made the super chat, this would be horrible. It would be a horrible show. Chit challenge for you is that hail Satan, but conservatives, David Apostate. Boo conservatives, David Apostate. See,
these are the kinds of people you get on your channel.
Well, that's it. That's it. Angel Jibril said David would eat the entire Quran for breakfast. Christian AP weakling stomach already choking after mere 2 pages. Atheist, draw your own conclusions.
Got a
Fair
point.
enough, man. Fair enough. Vinny the Pooh said, here's my jizya for the week. Please tell Farfour to stop harassing my friend Piglet and tell Muhammad that Eeyore can't fly. Hey, that would be funny.
That would be funny if we actually had like a Farfour costume, and then like Farfour ends up beheading all the other animals in the name of Allah.
This is funny because recently I saw that they made a movie of Winnie the Pooh becoming evil and murdering people and something like that.
Look, man, we just need a giant building that is a studio filled with props, and we could just make stupid skits like that all day, every day. And we need like 3 or 4 animators who are working constantly. So every dumb idea we think of, they just do it. They just boom, and then it's up the next day.
Yeah. We'll do that. D. Boudreau AD, what's up? Always nice to see you here. You have been here for years, I feel like. Here's $5. Islam sucks. Rhyme with a dime. Nice. Nice. See? Nice. Thank you. Sir Whitemeat, the 12-year-old, said, David Wood, where's a nice cross? Christian. AP has a statue of Baphomet. Atheist. Draw your own conclusions. See? Well, you're a 12-year-old, so there's that. Rise of Potato Nation said, look at your skin complexions. It's like demons are slowly corrupting your minds and body. Look at your old videos compared to what you look like now. That's a good point. This is a good point. What do you say, David?
Rise of Potato Nation.
Samuel Tawheed made his 20th super chat, it says. Yeah, that's very nice. Very, very nice. Nice to have you here. I don't know, but I've been told she was only 9 years old. That's good.
That actually works. The meter is off for the second part, but that's a Tom Petty line. I don't know, but I've been told. You never slow down, you never grow old. Yeah, we could come up with a parody of that with.
Yeah, I don't know, but I've been told she was only 9 years old. It could.
Oh no! Look! You could splice it. I don't know, but I've been told she was 9 years old. Just insert the clip right in there.
It was the perfect move. It was the perfect move. That's my favorite line from that whole video. I know.
It's such an awesome line. It was the perfect move.
She was 9 years old. Said the pig ideas would be the perfect move. Yeah. I'm gonna get that guy.
I think perfect new. We need to keep a list of like the terminology that we use for our live streams and the perfect move. Maybe even like a little definition key of what everything means, an explanation. That way, when new people come in, we're like, "Hey guys, here's a list of how we use these words and phrases."
This is so funny. I'm just looking over to my Twitter message requests to see where the information for that guy is in my messages, and then. I should just sometimes show people the message requests and what it looks like for an ex-Muslim or a critic of Islam. It's just so messed up. Like it all starts with a puss still doing pussy things. Somebody saying, "I will kill you. You guys are so ignorant. Go F yourself." Are you are a bastard, filthy Zionist, obsessed with Islam? Go kill yourself. This is my inbox here.
Yeah, why are you so obsessed?
This is mad. Oh boy. Hilarious stuff. I hear for Nupur Sharma she will live in fear. Nice. Angel Jibril said, from the Caribbean to the Nile, Aisha was a child. That's good. Jeff Dervla
She
said,
was 9 years old.
Jeff Dervla said, I'm surprised. Ever hear of SOC 119 at Penn State? The prof has very provocative classes on Islam. He's lived there. It's worth looking up. Sociology 119 at Pennsylvania State University. Interesting. He does? There are such things? I don't know. That sounds interesting. I definitely want to look that up, actually. Are Penn State and UPenn the same places? Are they different places? They're different places. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Bad Cat said, posted Muslim apologist rattled by simple question in our flat earth yesterday got hot pushback also on Wiki Islam article saying that was Islamophobia. Really? On the flat earth subreddit on Reddit? Huh. That's funny. Muslim apologist rattled by simple question. Is that a certain video that is titled that way? Okay, yeah, interesting. Share channel for you said, David, do you remember then I said sing Fresh Prince of Ball Air if Muhammad losing himself? I mean, then he literally crying like a baby to mock him. Do you remember, David? You do, right?
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
Stop lying. Yes, you do. Sir Whitemeat said that's what Aisha said. That's also a line. That's also one. Yeah. Ali G said, how about no? Green Eagle said 50,000 mosques closing Iranian civilian uprising. All of them should close. Every single one of them should close on their own account because nobody needs them.
Let's get it up to 100.
Seed of Gabriel said, AP, I hope you own a crucifix. Ave Christus Rex. Hail Jesus. I have this here, if that counts.
Okay.
See, I have this here, if that counts. Plus, I also have just a cross somewhere here. I don't know, but yeah, I have it all, man. I have it all. I even have this ancient spirit of the Sumerians here, which the Zoroastrians adopted from the ancient beliefs. This is your personal spirit. Yeah. And I even have this guy here. He's just been eating all his life. It's just, I don't know. He needs to work out a little bit. Gosh. I bet I'm gonna get some really angry people responding to me. It's just because of that, because of what I just did. Carlo Magna said, AP and David would please cover the recent Mindanao State University bombing in Marawi, Philippines by jihadist group Abu Sayyaf. When was that?
I remember an attack on we covered on This Week in Jihad, we covered an attack on a Catholic mass.
Islamic State claims responsibility for deadly Philippine bombing. They still around? Because nobody cares about you anymore. Right now, Hamas is in fashion. What is this? Idiots. Something worth going through, but this is more stuff that you talk about with
I'm just trying to see if this is the same one.
Yep. Ganesha, Shiva was so stupid he cut off his own son's head. Hanuman. Yeah, no, this is Ganesh. He also makes sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the same one. The Catholic Mass was at Mindanao State. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have this guy. He always sits by my side, always watching what I do, never getting up. That's how focused he is, man. That's how devout he is. Much respect. Yeah. Roy Subramania just became a YouTube member. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the club. You are now part of the Zabubas. SC Rocket XR1 said, AP, as a southerner, your southern accent is spot on. Yes, grew up in a mobile home in the deep south. David, you are the man. Really? Is it? I feel like it sounds fake and trash as hell when I do it, but that's why I do it. So if it sounds good, maybe I need to make it worse. I don't know. Yeah. Yes. Gornois Bulldozer said, you hear about the Gazan super soldier Batu Khan? No. I heard about Gaza strippers, though. Chupi said, AP, please read more of the New Testament and tell us your thoughts. I shall do so.
Ooh, we should start a series, AP reads the New Testament.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And reacts.
That's good.
Atheist reacts to New Testament.
Atheist Christian.
Ooh, even like do your own audio recording of the New Testament and let people listen to you read it.
Yeah, I could do it with an accent. Yeah, I could do it with my fake Southern accent. Brianna Janelle said, book recommendation for AP, When the Universe is the Way It Is, Reasons to Believe by Heroes. God bless you guys. Thank you. I will write it down. In fact, I will just order it right now. Or I will just put it on the side here and I will order it after I'm done with the last two. Why the Universe is the Way It Is. As Apostate Prophet, we always take your recommendations seriously. I hate it when I get those messages from companies that try to tell me that they always care about my opinion and all that. But hey, I will do that. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you. Is that the right way to say that? To say your name, by the way, is it Brianna?
Yes.
Is it? Sometimes
Brianna.
I'm very good with English stuff.
It's Brianna.
English like hard. English difficult speak. English difficult like speak, like what say when say English name. And yes, I try hard. David the Goliath said, are Turks, Chechens, Dagestanis considered white? Many of them look white due to practice of bride kidnapping in the past, enslaving European women. Well, have to point out that Chechens are actually pretty sure people who are closely related to or who are part of that whole Caucasian, Slavic, or I don't know if they are Slavic, if they are just Caucasian, but they are meant to be quite white. But Turks are just very, very mixed and very distant. They came from the Far East steppes together with the Mongols. They were very close related to the Mongols. And nowadays, I am a Turk in origin, but I don't look anything like those Turks from back then, which tells you one thing, which is that these people probably mixed severely with all the people that they encountered, with the Persians and the local Anatolians, the Greeks, the Armenians, and so on. And now we have a giant mix. That's how it happens. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Wasim Haidar said, a prostate has the strength of 30 leather straps. Please make something for ex-Muslims who have been disowned with some resources. My mother had passed and father is on the verge of disowning me.
Why are you laughing at that?
Do you really have to? Do you really have to start such a serious comment with?
Yeah.
That's just so messed up.
like comment. The eyes are the leather strap of the anus. Oh, by the way, my family is disowning me. wait. Well.
Such a sudden shift in sentiment. Yes. Wow. I could. I think there were people who did talk about that kind of stuff more in better ways. I can recommend 2 people off the top of my head. One of them is Infidel Noodle. She's a very, very good communicator and commentator. Also, a graduate in psychology and education. She really knows her stuff, and she talked about these things quite a bit. I would always recommend her input on these matters. Another person is Apostate Aladdin. That's his channel name. He tried to copy me and named himself Apostate something, but it didn't work. But you can go to his channel, and he talks about such things extensively as well. And I think they're doing that part better than I would do it, to be very honest. But I wish you all the best. Wish you all the best. Because I just handled things by separating myself from my Islamic culture and background and just going my way, because that's how I handle everything in life. Zane said, AP, I love to fight against, asks how you cope with dying. What? AP, I love to fight giants. Oh my God. I love to, I can't read. I love to fight giants, asks how you cope with dying. But what does this exactly mean? Who is I love to fight giants? I don't even understand. How you cope with dying. I just don't die. Didn't expect that, right? Difficult topic to talk through. I always wanted to make a video about that. This is one of the 5,000 things that I always wanted to make a video about. Maybe one day I could do that. I just don't bother anymore. You know what? There was actually a time several years ago where I was having severe anxiety issues. And one of the things was that I suddenly started worrying about death, because for much of my life before that, I didn't care about death. I thought, I don't care. I could die tomorrow. I don't give a crap. But then I started a family, and I suddenly started taking death seriously again, and started fearing it, and it started fueling my anxiety. But I kind of worked on it, on just getting into this whole mindset of, hey, what in the world is there to worry about? If it happens, then it'll just happen. Thinking about it right now is not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything positive or anything negative. It's a reality of life. There is nothing to be worried about. Just get on with it. Who cares, right? Unfortunately, David couldn't come to the same conclusion because he didn't try as hard.
Because I'm not a moron.
Gordo's bulldozer said his last words were Amba Tukan. That guy in Gaza. I hope he was not one of the strippers. Cliff Wilson said music track should include Adam and his package. The Palestinians are not the rebel alliance. Solid. PBUM, peace be upon me, said, hi AP, DW. Writing a book. About Islam. Great work. My nickname, Ibn al-Nasrani.
He's got peace be upon me there.
That's good. Very nice stuff. Thank you. Goofus. I want to leave. Okay, I want to be done with this live stream. Good night, thanks. But I still have like 15 super chats to go through.
I'll do them rapid fire then.
Goofus said, every time I see those poor girls, I'm filled with an unspeakable fury. I imagine the brave young IDF lads are the same. Prayers for their success. Yes, but when they retaliate, they say, genocide, it's oppression, Zionists. Sir Whitemeat said, I'm 13, actually. I can say no words like but.
I can say no words like but.
Kool-Aid Man Kill said, do you think Islam is the ultimate RPG for EXP? I believe so, yes. Yes. David doesn't know what this means.
RPG means either a missile or role-playing game.
Yeah, it's a role-playing game, yeah. But in the
I knew that.
but what does
I don't know what EXP means. Experience?
Yes, that's right. It plays a major role in video games that are RPG genres. Michelle Marie said, I don't Tinos. But I've been told a big-legged woman ain't got no soul.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, she was given this goes back when she said, I don't know, but I've been told. I thought it was the Tom Petty version. I don't know, but I've been told. She's talking about, I don't know, but I've been told a big-legged woman ain't got no soul.
Hey, that was a good impression. That's a good impression, man. That's a very good impression. You should do remasters of all those great songs. Can you do Stairway to Heaven?
Yeah, the whole thing. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Nice.
I'm just screeching better. And as we ride on down the road.
Nice. Populate Fonselita said, you ever listen to the album Shake Your Booty? I heard of it. I have never listened to it. What is it? Was it Frank Zappa? Is that him? Never listened to it. Never. I heard about it only after I called myself Shake Your Booty. That's how unfamiliar I am with it. Michelle Marie said, I don't know, but I've been told a big-legged woman ain't got no soul. Thank you for the correction. You didn't have to make that one, but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, David has to sing that part again. Yeah.
I'll just do the music.
Yeah. You know what I lately got into? Lead Dawa. Yes, Frank Zappa. Lately, I started listening to AI covers of well-known songs. People figured out to make AI covers
too.
by with different people's voices. I even created a playlist that I made public just to share with people the ridiculous stuff that I encountered there. But including stuff like Johnny Cash singing Barbie
Eminem.
Barbie World, or some stuff like that.
It'll be stuff like that. There was one where a dude had Boomhauer from King of the Hill doing the fast part from Rap God, but
my God.
it sounds exactly like Boomhauer doing it.
Yeah, there's ridiculous stuff. There's also Hitler doing different songs, like Hitler doing Billie Jean by Michael Jackson.
Everyone notice AP goes for the Hitler videos. He goes for the Hitler AI songs.
That's the first thing when I look at AI. When I look at like recreating ridiculous stuff, I'm like, okay, where's Hitler? Where's Hitler? Like, that's it. That's what I do, man. That's what everyone should be doing. Saul Willis said, hey, AP, just wondering if Shaky Booty was inspired by Frank Zappa's Shaky Booty. I just answered it, so I hope that answers the question. It actually wasn't. I didn't even know of Frank Zappa's Shake Your Booty before I created Shake Your Booty, which I, by the way, created while I was taking a shower. Jeff Durbla said, I did mix up us, but still worth a lookup. I need to go back to what your earlier comment was now. Huh.
Oh, that's weird. When I search for it, the album pops up with him dressed like a shake, but it's Frank Zappa dressed like a shake. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I'm going to check that out.
I only heard about that once when I made a video and like called myself Shake Your Booty.
It's a double album.
Then people talked about this, but yeah. That's funny, but it's spelled in a funny way. Mine is better. Yeah, my spelling is better. Sorry, Frank Zappa. Brent Nunset said war against Islam in Philippines is significant. Battle for Marawi 2017, for example. They have constant bombing attacks in war against Catholics. Yeah. Is Marawi
That is correct.
Yeah. There is a region which they claim as their own Islamic state, which they want to make.
And it's just a perfect illustration of, hey, it doesn't matter where Islam goes, you end up with jihadis saying it's theirs, and they just want to conquer it and so on. But you'll recall that I forget what the guy's name is, Musa. He was that guy who was like the poster boy for ISIS in Australia. He was a convert and then went to prison and then left Islam in prison. But that's where he was heading when they caught him. He went on a boat with some of his jihadi buddies, and they were heading for the Philippines.
Yeah, okay. Musa Serantino, something.
Sarantonio, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Sarantonio.
Wonder what's happened to him. Is he out yet? I remember he had a release date. I'm gonna look him up while you're going a couple more.
Was it Corleone? I don't know. The real massacre said the Quran is just mere paper. Muhammad was a child rapist. Perfect move. Good.
The Quran is mere paper. Muhammad was a child raper. We need to start.
Nice.
I'm gonna steal that one.
SC Rocket XR1 said, but the leather is important. It indeed is. Indeed. Alhamdulillah. Our Dominic said from Australia, mate, said, I'm new to and Sam J. Love your work and humor. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Save Australia from radical Islam. Huh. That's nice. Thank you for joining. Ubrager Nelvin said AP plays Hearts of Iron 4. Of course, you would love the angry German mustache man. That's a good thought, but to be very honest, despite the fact that I play that game, I rarely ever play Hitler in that game. I don't know why. I just spent my time doing ridiculous things when I played. Chloe said, "Hey, David Wood, do you think AP will see Jesus after death?" I do. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, good.
AI Spider-Man's leather strap was of Antioch. Look at that. Said, "Oh, Aisha, could you please scrub a dub these spider webs off my clothes?" People. Chloe said, are our moral acts weighed on scales by Jesus? Well, you better be sure they are. Chloe said, post-death, pre-judgment, Jesus encountered David Wood, AP. I just read everything that Chloe sends as a rhyme, or try to read it as like rap or poetry or something. I don't know. David, what do you say about this?
I don't know. I saw something saying he was supposed to be released, but I can't see anything saying he was. I'm still looking up Musa Sarantonio. I'm just trying to find out if he's out yet, because we probably want to try and talk to that dude.
Hey, Antonio, what's going on? What are you doing?
It's all this stuff saying he's supposed to be his scheduled release is for such and such, and it's a time that has passed, but I don't see anything about him being out. So I don't know if they kept him for something.
Hey, Antonio, are you out? What are you doing? Why are you not talking to us? What is this?
Hey, bibbidi-bobbidi.
Joseph Decode said, "Hey, been watching for a while. I sent a video for reaction. It's the viral one with David Horowitz, if you haven't seen it." Or is that the one that where he talks to a student at that event, and that student is like being very emotional, a pro-Palestine activist?
Oh,
and
yeah. Wait, is that the one
her,
where he said for it or against it, and she goes for it?
Yeah. That's a very good video. I think we should probably watch that sometime. That's a very good one. It's a very good one. A very good. Hey, spaghetti. SK said, "You guys may not know it, but you both were a part of my journey leaving the religion, especially David." I'm not reading that part. That religion.
Especially David.
Especially David. You're like a savior to me. Love to you guys. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate it. That means a lot. It doesn't mean anything to Dave, but it means a lot to me.
You can't even smoke a fake cigarette, man.
Shake my nuts said, but I am the best shake. No, you're not. I'm the best shake. Gray said, I remember smoking out of notebook paper in high school, and it was terrible, but I'm sure the Quran's miraculous eloquence makes it go down well. It definitely does. I think so. I haven't tried it yet. I will try it soon.
I mean, it kind of looks cool. The Quran kind of looks cool as a cigarette.
Yeah,
with the writing. It's like Koranagami looks cool.
Create a joint better than the Quran.
Just do it. Just show yourself rolling stuff up. Get some regular tobacco from a store. Sprinkle some in it like this, and then you take a puff and just look at the camera. And go, produce a joint better than the Quran.
Peace be upon me, he said, love you both from Ibn al-Nasrani. Remember me. I will never.
We shall remember you.
We shan't forget. Chloe said David would do vid on pre-Christians. Are they in purgatory? David,
why would
you know it? That's why you know where they are.
I'm probably not going to make a video on that because it would always be in my head. Wait, there are people who like study theology way more than me who should be talking about it more.
But she's specifically asking you because you know it. You know where they are. So there's that. Ricardo Torres said David Wood about to go get himself some Hennessy with a B.Apologetics. Yes.
Hennessy. I'll drink up all the Hennessy you got on your shelf. Now just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty. Pronounced with a umpty.
Huh. Okay.
My name is Dizzle. Pronounced with a izzle.
Interesting.
It is.
Why do I hear so much about Hennessy lately? Why is this like part of every single song recently? Whenever I hear some stupid pop song, I hear them mention Hennessy. Is it like a thing like like the best thing ever? That's why, or I don't even get it.
I don't know. It makes me want to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try a shot of Hennessy one day. I don't think I've ever had any.
Yeah, it makes me want to.
But at least we'll know.
I haven't had alcohol in several years now.
I'll drink up all the Hennessy you got on your shelf.
Since I reverted to Islam, I haven't had any alcohol. Yeah,
or pork.
I do that still. Yeah. Joe Serrano said, I like your southern accents. Can you do Mexican? I can't. I genuinely can't. I'm too unfamiliar with it. But David probably can. But he doesn't want to do it.
Hey, ese! Hey, vato!
Nice. There is a movie that I watched like 50 times in my life, which is called 187. And it's funny. It's not even a very popularly known movie. It's just a movie.
Do you know why it's called 187?
Yes, because 187 stands for the code for murder. And and in the movie,
yeah, there was a prison gang called 187 where I was in prison.
And the movie is about is basically this teacher who goes to school and one day opens the book when he arrives at school and finds 187 on all the pages, and then he goes to the principal and is like, hey, what is this? And the principal is like, probably just from some rap song. Anyway, then he gets stabbed multiple times. Then he comes back later, many years later, as a substitute teacher and goes to a place where he deals with mostly like Hispanic students and has some very interesting exchanges there. Very, very interesting movie. Not a very popular movie, but one that I, for some reason, watched like 50 times or 51 and still sometimes turn on and watch. I don't know.
Yeah, I did a live stream. I did 2 live streams with my bunkmate from prison. He was on the top bunk. I was on the bottom bunk. But he was like old. He was the prison tattoo artist, and he'd been locked up way longer than I had. So he's like old school con where you stay out of other people's business and stuff. And I was like pretty new Christian, and I would run around breaking up all the fights. Come on, guys. Come on, stop fighting. Think about going home and stuff. And one day it was one day you could tell when someone was fight. People would go into the bathroom to fight. It's a big area, but they would go in there to fight because the COs wouldn't see you fighting and so on. Anyway, you could hear when someone's fighting because you hear their shoes squeaking on the floor. You hear squeak, 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 squeak. Sound like a basketball game because they beat the crap, and you hear thump, 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 thump. Anyway, so I hear the fight and I go, "Hey, there's a fight in the bathroom." And let's go break it up. And I get up and he grabs me by my wrist and he goes, "Yo, hey, don't go over there, man. Don't go over there. No, you can't be doing that. You can't be getting in other people's business, man. You're gonna run into some trouble. And I was like, "No, I'm breaking it up." And I go over there and he's yelling at me, "Get back here, stay out of it, stay out of it." And anyway, there were 2 doors to go into the restroom. And I go through one, and right when I go in there, I see it's not a fight, it's a beat in. So you get beaten into your gang. They were beating a guy into this 187 gang and stuff. So I walked in there. I'm like, I'm not breaking up something if you're trying to get beat up. But it was one of the great highlights of my life because right when I went in there, I stopped and then I pulled back, and then my friend, my bunkmate, comes through the other door and he's like, "All right, break this up." And it was such a cool point because he actually believed it was like a violation of the inmate code of conduct to actually go and break up a fight, but he wasn't going to let me, and he wasn't going to let me do it by myself. And so he was right behind me, rolling up in there. And then I was like, "Oh, we're good, dude. Dial it back, abort." And so anyway, that was a cool time. That was cool. Good. That's when I realized, yeah, pretty solid friend there. He's everything in him's telling him, "No, don't do this," but I can't let my friend go in there alone either. So
you said the butt word. It's always interesting.
Atheism, ladies and gentlemen.
It's always interesting to hear David would expose himself here on live stream. Yeah. Anyway, I recently came across a video on my watch page on YouTube which said Elon Musk exposes himself on Israel-Palestine conflict by an Islamist channel. But it's funny because when you read the title, it just looks like, he took his clothes off in public. Weird. So I had to buy the piece of the Quran because it was getting it was being weird. Those asking guests, 187 with Samuel L. Jackson, with him in that role. Yeah, that's the one. It was one of my favorite movies for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. Very long time. Nose Tuber said, "How do you think Islam would develop and look today if the breastfeeding verses made it to the Quran?" It would have probably collapsed pretty fast. I don't think so. People go with really ridiculous nonsense if you just fight them and convert them. That's it. Yeah. Chloe said, "Heard of solipsism in philosophy? I know someone has it." Heard it, yes. But is this
solipsism is the belief that you're the only thing that exists. In other words, if I were a solipsist, I would believe that I'm the only thing that exists and nothing outside me is real. You say, well, what about all the stuff you see? It's similar to dreaming in that you invent a world to keep yourself occupied. And there are a couple of different versions. There's epistemological solipsism, which is basically you can't really know because all you actually have access to are your own mental experiences, and so you don't know. Stuff may exist, but you have to proceed as far as your epistemology, as far as knowledge is concerned. You proceed as if you don't know that the world is out there. And then there's metaphysical solipsism, which is the actual belief that you're the only thing that exists. And there are some people who hold this position actually give reasons, like what is more likely, if an entire universe with tons and tons of stuff forming, or one little center of consciousness forming and then imagining the rest of the universe. So I just think it's way more probable that they're the only thing that exists.
That's very based. BAP one shot said, "Why does AP repeat himself?" What?
Oh, I just wanted to point out that I'd have to find it, but Matt Dillahunty actually gave an interesting response on solipsism just pointing out, like, what are the odds that every song I ever hear that's really awesome that I don't know how to do because I don't know how to make music, I actually made all those songs. And he just kind of goes down a list like that of, in other words, like, what are the odds that I am so great a genius that I've invented everything I've ever heard, good and bad. I've made up the crappiest songs ever, and I've made up the greatest songs ever. What are the odds that I'm doing all that while still feeling at my current level of ineptitude?
Dumbest thing I've heard in my life. BAP One Shot said, why does AP repeat himself after an answer? I don't know
Good
what
point.
you're talking about. I don't repeat myself after an answer.
I would block this dude for complaining.
I don't repeat myself after an answer.
I would block this dude for telling you how to act.
I don't repeat myself after an answer.
I would block this dude for even questioning what you do on your show.
Nostumat said, check the theory saying Al-Aqsa Mosque was near Jirana between Mecca and Taif in Hijaz. Was one of two mosques closer and farther close as Al-Adna.
Yeah, I've seen that before, that the terms that were used actually back then referred to two that were close and not Al-Aqsa.
Near, far, wherever you are.
Unicorn said, thanks, AP and David Wood. You're welcome. You're welcome.
What else can I say but you're welcome?
Yes. Chloe said, does the solipsist become part of God's light? Yes.
Yeah, who knows what they think.
The Sahib Muskar said, I dare you to create better toilet paper than the Quran. Huh. Interesting challenge. Somebody might take the challenge. And finally, nice. Edgar Irepetian made a super chat of why? Why is it $199.99?
Because you don't get the 200.
Why can't I just receive a $200 super chat and say of $200? Why does it have to be?
You're an atheist.
99 cents. Well, why am I being subjected to this here? I'm not accepting this. I'm issuing a refund.
He's a victim. He's a victim. He's a victim of anti-Christian. I mean, anti-atheist persecution by Christians.
Yeah, they always want to keep that 1 cent from getting to me, just to let me know that I'm incomplete. And this is literal harassment, literal oppression, literal genocide. But hey, Edgar Irepetian, thank you so much. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate it very much. Very generous, very helpful, very good, very nice, very, very, very cool. Very cool. Very cool. God bless you both and your families. Jesus is God. See, there is it. There it is. There it is. All this discrimination that I face at the hands of the Christians who are trying to oppress me here. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very, very much. Is that an Armenian name, by the way? So it looks like it. Chloe said, couldn't this all be a dream? Could it all be a dream? Jesus, safest ticket. Yeah. It is a dream. It's all a dream. Popalit Fonselta said, what are your thoughts on the Boltzmann brain? David, what are your thoughts? And then we leave. But I just want to put this up here because I appreciate this very much because it's very nice. But hey, David,
if you wanted to defend solipsism and explain your reasoning, you would go in the direction of the Boltzmann. That's the claim. That's the reasoning as far as the Boltzmann brains, is that it would be much more likely if something is sort of coming into existence on its own, it would be much more probable that it's some sort of center of consciousness than that it's an entire universe filled with tons of stuff. And so, yeah, that would be related to the case for solipsism if someone were to give a case.
Huh. Philosophy of the thing that does the thinking. Our station 48. Have you ever looked into? I know this is completely related, but completely off topic to what we usually discuss, but related to this stuff. Have you ever been interested in looking at the side of apologetics that says there is a case for God or for a specific God in philosophy of the mind, and in explaining that that the mind could not arise on its own, that it must have a maker because of the way it functions, because of the way it is unlike anything else, and all of that. I saw I don't know, among the people that we talked about, Hamza Tortis, for example, he went into the direction at some point, I guess, of focusing on philosophy of the mind and using that as proof for Allah. But have you ever looked into that stuff?
I've never really focused on it, but you do have. I mean, I wouldn't trust a whole lot of Hamza's sort of apologetics just because the things we've seen from him in the past. Notice it wouldn't be going to philosophy of mind to actually learn about philosophy of mind. It would be, hey, what can I mean, his past approach seems, what can I go here? It's like Muhammad Hijab going to Oxford. It's not because he's there to learn. He wants a credential to use for dawah purposes. But it's the same with all these dawah guys. They're only interested in the subject as far as it relates to dawah. But yeah, the overall issue is, it seems since we're aware of consciousness, since we're aware of the mind and so on, it seems if you start off with a mind as primary, you can understand how you get to a universe that then has lots of minds in it. It's just something much weirder if you start off with no mind and somehow things turn into minds. And so yeah, I don't know. I actually agree with that. It seems, if you were thinking probability wise, if you start off with mindless nonsense, what are the odds that it actually turns into billions and billions of minds, versus if you're starting off with minds, if you're starting off with a mind, there you can understand how you get to other minds, because notice that mind might want to make other minds and so on. So
yeah, I don't know why you have to take it to get Thomas the Tortoise here. I mean, the guy's just trying to do his job. Our station 4850 said, I don't know if you're playing or not, but Apple makes you do 199 while Android PC lets you do full. Really? Is this the reason? Is that really the case? If so, I was completely unaware of that. If that's the case, that's very strange.
It's not 199, it's 187. Get your numbers right.
There you go. There you go.
No further question.
There you go. There you go. Richard McLean said David can perfect his Aussie accent by watching Steve Irwin. God bless, mate.
Why would I watch Steve Irwin when I could watch Crocodile Dundee, which I've already seen? Mm-hmm.
Nice. Sometimes I look for stuff to watch on Netflix.
You're sitting there watching Netflix
And on different streaming platforms, and then I come across different shows, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Where is it from? It's Australia. Oh, okay. No, can't do that. Like, as soon as I hear the accent, I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Sorry. Like, as interesting as it might be, I just don't want to. I just don't want to listen to a whole movie or a show where they speak with that atrocious accent. I mean, what else? How many things can you handle at once? One, the fact that the entire place consists of people who are criminals, literally,
mm-hmm.
And then the fact that
if I want to watch that, I watch a prison movie.
And then the fact that it's a horrible accent.
I don't want to watch a movie where they made a big island. Well, we're going to call it a continent, but we're going to make a big island and just make it a prison, and then people can live like they're not convicts. What the heck?
Yeah, terrible stuff, man. I don't know. It also looks like Mars.
They should deport the entire population of Australia to Antarctica. Make it a real. It just seems like if you're going to prison, it should suck somehow.
Yeah. It does look like Mars. It looks like
this big island. I'm just saying, hey, we're going to give them this big cool island with like koala bears and kangaroos all over the place. No, you don't get that.
It also it's so weird. Like, it's a huge giant island that is vastly, mostly uninhabitable. That looks like Mars. Like, when you have photos from Mars, like the initial photos taken from Mars, it's like, okay, is this really Mars or is it just Australia? That's the question that I have on my mind. For example, you could go to Australia and you could shoot a movie that would be like on Mars. You could pretend that it's on Mars. Half of it is full with stuff that are with animals that are dangerous. Half of it is too hard to even live on. And who in the world even? I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, thank you, Richard. Chloe said, God had grant eternal forgetfulness, avoid boredom. I agree entirely. Chloe said, my final message, The Chosen free to watch. I have already watched 2 seasons of that, and I'm still supposed to watch the 3rd one, but I actually find it interesting. David still hasn't watched it because, unlike me, he doesn't care enough about
No, I wanted to make a video where we binge watch it and then we just have our reaction. Only thing is, I want to toss a Muslim into the mix. I want to toss the Muslim into the mix, and then the videos. I binge watched The Chosen with an atheist and a Muslim. Our reaction. Who's not going to click on that?
Yeah, you have to find a Muslim for that. You have to find.
Isa would do it. Isa's cool. Isa likes us.
That's interesting. Maybe.
The Western Desert lives and breathes in 45 degrees. The time has come. Sorry, as soon as you said that it's a wasteland, I remember that song, Midnight Oil.
What if Isa is just playing a strategy? What if he's pretending to be like a very nice, funny guy so that he can get close to us and then eventually, blow himself up while he's sitting with us? I don't know. There's always something to consider there. Yeah, not making any accusations here, Isa. We love you. Fairuz Mahdi said, I believe that Muhammad was the false prophet and the Khalifa in waiting will be the Antichrist. What's your and David's thoughts? I agree completely with you. David agrees if I agree. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, Islamic stuff is some of your main contenders, but I don't know. Islam could crumble. Islam could crumble in the next 5 or 10 years. You could be dealing with completely different stuff. So yeah, don't know.
Future Bride said Australia is an open air prison. Huh.
We should start saying and Australia, the world's largest open air prison.
Yeah. Gabriella said what I just said about Isa was not appropriate.
Is that what you just said about what?
What I just said about Isa. What if he's just pretending?
Oh, wait, what did you say? You froze on my computer. I didn't know if it was, but it looked like you were still going over here. What did you actually say? You froze on my computer. I saw you say, what about it? Maybe Isa is, and then I said
maybe it's just a strategy. He's just pretending to be very nice with us and very nice to us so that he can get close to us and then blow himself up when he's close enough.
That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work
to kill us. Okay.
No.
Okay. I know it was inappropriate. That's why I said it.
I'm invincible.
Anyway, Nick Fuentes, Dylan Mulvaney says, I'm also president of Trans Against Islamophobia. That's good. That's good. That's very good. I hope Nick Fuentes should see this. That idiot. Bella said, smoking boys. We'll get together. I will record a video where we will smoke the Quran. And
yeah, I don't even know if I have a lighter.
I will be smoking a hardcore joint out of this. David will just be smoking regular grass that we pick.
I will wrap a Quran around a black and mild and smoke that.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. All right. Nice roll, AP said. Apostatic you. Well, I used to smoke them joints. Back in the day. Oh, Lindsay Mary said, oh, dang, I missed it. Hey, nice to see you here, Lindsay Mary. Nice to see you here. Nice to have you here. Where's St. Miles? I missed St. Miles. You should be here too. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Just kidding. David, what else? You want to say something before we leave?
No, nothing. Tomorrow, I haven't watched it yet, but I know Fareed responded to my most recent video, so we will.
David Wood claims that he can refute this. Let me now make a response to David Wood and show him
I'm actually
that this is a metaphysical matter. ahead.
when I make a video, I already have it in my head what the responses would be based on the Quran, and so I'm actually interested. Does Fareed just give like exactly the same responses I would have anticipated, or is there something new and impressive? But yep, I'll check that out.
It is,
but it'll be dope. It'll be way better. It'll be way better than this live stream.
What the hell? I mean,
all right. I will be going now, and
You're sitting there watching Netflix.
that's what I will be doing. Until then, as always, remember,
homosexuality should be fine.
Oh, sorry, wrong button. Yeah.
It is a metaphysical matter.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will be back soon. Tomorrow. Yes, we will be back tomorrow. And we will do great things. Until then, stay safe. And
stay away from Islam.